been out of control at every level for some time, maybe not to the level of Colombia, but as far as cost and just rising cost and continuing to do it. So I think it's a fair thing. It is not exactly 100% on point, but nothing in politics is to say, here's Biden for giving some art school stuff for billions of dollars on the same day that America is revolted, not just at what goes on at Columbia, but there's a general revulsion at the cost, the indoctrination, in some cases, like Columbia and some of these others, the entitlement associated with all this stuff. And they've had it with it. Look at the professors. Now, is it every campus where you're going to see professors like that? There's a lot of professors out there in a lot of places on the wrong side of things. So is it a fair point to say there's a degree of linkage with all the student loan debt and that suddenly Biden thinks this is the one thing in life that has to be forgiven, and what we're seeing play out? I think there is. Now, you could say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's kind of minimal. You could say you're 10 to 10, Dan, wherever he is on it. I get it. But I would say it's a fair point. You're going to hear it. Republicans are already talking about that. They're also talking about defunding those colleges. And they're absolutely on cue. If the college will not agree to some rational stances when it comes to this nonsense, particularly around anti-Semitism, then why should they get any federal money? The Ivy colleges involved, at least the major ones in the protests, get about $7 billion a year. And they have endowments that are astronomical. So why in the world would they get taxpayer money when any number of people there are anti, I won't say America, but traditional America? They're anti-traditional America. Why should traditional America then pay for it? Why go down this path? And it's just another nail in the coffin. And maybe that's a good thing. We are, as a society, starting to turn away from the idea that you have to go to college to get into a lot of careers. And that's a good thing, that we're moving away from that fewer and fewer careers should demand a college degree. All right, here's a couple of the juicy things from yesterday, though. Here's a kid, and he's in there with his buddies, the people that stormed that hall. And suddenly, when the cops show up, it dawns on him, hey, I just want to get out now. I got finals I have to take. Here's how it sounded.
They just barricaded us in. Oh my God. You're laughing. No way. You, it's finals. Can I go home?
It's a female. I got to go home. Here's another female leader. And this woman, people did a deep dive on her. As far as I could understand, her area of study is something to do with Marx and various manipulations from Marx and expressive poetry. Can you imagine Marx and expressive poetry? They'd kill every poet they found.
Theories of the imagination and poetry as interpreted through a Marxian lens.
Wow. A lot of lenses going on here.
Need Joe and Exton to now analyze that one.
Joe has probably studied in that. So here's what she was saying yesterday.
Very unfortunate name, too. Don't reveal it, but
Yeah, and let's see. I'm okay with the reporter here. I think was a very good journalist. He wasn't showing bias. He just kept pressing her, though, on how can you be demanding food and water and all this stuff. All you have to do is come outside the building and you can get all the food and water you want. You just can't take over a building. She says something at one point. We all have a meal plan here, though. Can you imagine? The college should have to serve up a banquet here for the people taking over the building. Here's how it sounded.
Why should the university be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request to have food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
But they did put themselves in that very deliberately in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying, we want to be revolutionaries. We want to take over this building. Now, would you please bring us food and water? And
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
They're stopping the delivery of food.
We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop it
But
violently.
they haven't stopped it yet.
I don't know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment.
and the Grubhub.
Grubhub there. He was getting on Grubhub, willing to come to the rescue
The
here.
end of that is shocking, Dom.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
she just twists and turns, and it turns into,
Yes.
oh my gosh.
Well, and she's making a big deal like she's in some war zone or something here. That's what I said. That's what these people do. Everybody has a role. Everybody gets some title. Everybody dramatizes it. Just come out of the building. Don't go back in. You get all the food and water that you want. I'm sure there were demands on the type of food, the type of water, etc.
I love the moving of the goalposts. First, she wants them to provide food because it's a meal
Right.
plan, and they say that's BS. And then she says, we don't, we think we need humanitarian aid. They need to provide us water. Then they call her out on that BS, and they say, we just want the university to stop preventing people from
Right.
delivering food here. And then they call her out on that BS, and she says she has no evidence of them stopping people from bringing food to the.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
that reporter was very good at extracting this. All right. Here's the false narrative I think that's out there. And I guess it's convenient for a lot of people. There are so-called outside agitators here. There are some people that are not students that don't belong and all that. But Columbia's statement attributes almost all of this, or a great amount to it, to outside agitators won't be allowed on campus. No. You're not getting away with it in my mind. I think a lot of this is student-driven, mainly in charge. Now, did people provide tools and all? Are there some people there that are suspect, that are professional agitators? Yes, I don't doubt that. But you can't get away from the fact that we're seeing thousands of students across the country engage in this. It's not just a bunch of outside agitators. I sent you one day, and it was late, though. Maybe we'll play it later. It's a woman on CNN that I usually differ with, a national security person, saying they're using this as a crutch, this outside agitator. There's some of that. It's like anything else that's mixed in. But I think this is by and large students like that girl saying, I got to get out of here. Finals. Like this other woman studying Marxist poetry with all the nonsense on humanitarian aid. They're all involved. All right. Laura Trump will be here at 12:30 today. The area I'm most interested in, well, there are two. The Trump people smartly are arguing, one of these mainstream groups that bothers me the most are these people that somehow or another are in charge of the debates. A, they are the fussiest to come up with their own dictates versus what would help the American people. B, they're biased to the left every time. And the Trump people are saying, no, you can't have a debate in late September. A lot of people have already voted by then. If we're going to vote in these new ways, early voting, mail-in voting, and all the rest, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to set the debates up before that. What would be outrageous about having a debate now? Biden could go to the courthouse. During the breaks, they could have their debate if they want. Biden doesn't want a debate. I will be really surprised if Biden agrees to even one debate ultimately. I don't see it. Would you honestly, if you were the advisor, you letting Biden get into the ring there? Not that Trump is going to kill him on policy or anything, but just the whole look of it, the back and forth is not good.
I don't know if you're going to debate your opponent.
I am somewhere. I don't know when. I'm happy to debate him.
There's his debate coach, Howard Stern. I wonder if you gave him any tips while he was there in the studio with Joe. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Here's the side question. Today is Kate Smith Day. So we still think that Kate Smith and Frank Rizzo might be being held in the same warehouse. Can you imagine the people? It's one thing. You don't want the Kate Smith statue. You don't want the Frank Rizzo statue. Free Frank Rizzo. Free Kate Smith. What did Kate Smith ever do wrong? She was a person of her time with that one song. There's evidence, though, of no racial animus with Kate Smith. If she gets the hood put over the head, as the Flyers did, then goes, who can survive? 50 years from now. All right. Who deserves a statue here in Philadelphia? And then I think we should broaden it. They don't have to be definitively attached to Philadelphia. That would be better. But somebody you just think is unrecognized, a statue. The reason we have statues are to remember things, remember people as kind of an indelible stamp of their values or their inspiration or something like that. Now, the Confederate statues, some of them are problematic. I'm going to say on the sports side, Brian Dawkins, I just always thought was the epitome of what Philadelphia wants.
Yeah.
I don't think Joel Embiid's going to be having a statue anytime when he retires.
Especially after this performance.
But I'll get to that a little bit later. How about yours, Dan?
Well, last time we did this, Wilt Chamberlain won the day and found out there is a statue of Wilt outside the center there. So I think can we also do people that might already have statues here, but they're just underrated?
Yes.
All right, then I want to bring up a guy. General Casimir Pulaski has a statue in Philadelphia.
There we go. All right. Who would have seen that coming?
You know, a great Polish person,
general.
Polish American. But if you search his address, as is for many things Polish, the address is just unnamed road, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, where is that Pulaski statue? I bet somebody out there could help tell us.
I do know where it is.
Okay.
I found it on Google Maps. Like it says unnamed road, but it points to the Schuylkill River Trail area, I guess.
Oh, it must be around here then.
Yeah. It's behind the art museum.
Well, I would
Schuylkill
add
River Basin.
Nothing wrong with a few more Columbus statues. We only have 2 to remember Columbus.
Yeah.
William Penn. We have 2 or 3, but, that's fine. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board a statue. Even if it's already there, but you think it's underrated, or one that you would put into play. That's what we're looking for. Student loan debt. This is a way for Republicans to tie these things together. They have to handle it appropriately. We're not saying everybody who has student loan debt is doing what these punks at Columbia would do or the other campuses. But I am saying they're interlocked. Is this a way finally to get at big college, which just does whatever it wants? And the reason it did whatever it wants, because they sold the American people that everybody had to go to college if you wanted to succeed. The idea being, what family didn't say, oh, yeah, we're going to start that college savings fund now because we know that's the new thing. When did it come in? Mid-60s, early 70s. It became almost a requirement. They're arresting protesters now on the UW. Is that the University of Washington? It's not. Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. Now massive numbers going down there. This is not going to go away anytime soon. The only thing that will stop it, a lot of these people will go home for the summer, but after Labor Day, you're going to see it again. All right, good time to jump in is right now, 855-839-1210. I say it's a good tactic. Connect student loan debt. Biden forgiving billions more today on some art institute thing. The Office of Government Accounting says all this forgiveness will come to close to $1 trillion. That's over the course of time. That's hard to believe. That's bigger than anything we've done, bigger than a GI. It's amazing. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in.
Hi, it's Rich Zioli. I'm joined here today by my friend, the co-president and CEO of Cooper University Healthcare, the one and only Dr. Anthony Mazzarelli. Dr. Maz and I are here to tell you about our buddy, Dr. Mike Venaria. Not only is he my dentist, he's my family's dentist as well. And not sure if you knew this, he's Dr. Maz's dentist too.
That's right, Rich. Dr. Mike Venaria is and has been my dentist also. And, doctors choosing doctors, that can be quite a selective process. And not only do I go to them, but for years, my sister and my niece and my nephew, the whole family goes.
Well, it's no secret. We're all delighted by the care that Dr. Mike Venaria and his award-winning team provide, and you need to check him out.
Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, implant dentistry, you don't need to look any further. Dr. Venaria's office does everything. Dr. Venaria's office also exceeds all CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control, like their centralized UV sterilization of airflow, which is incredibly important to me.
Locations are right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Your perfect smile's waiting. Call 856-786-2020 or visit venariadental.com.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-254-4574. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-254-4574 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-254-4574 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-254-4574.
If you're looking for that perfect piece of furniture, you have to check out Bucks County Estate Traders. They have the largest in-stock inventory in the region, and I mean largest, enough to fill a 58,000 square foot showroom. Quality, high-end furniture and accessories, modern, traditional, mid-century, all types of European styles, current pieces, as well as antiques. They'll arrange to ship anywhere, or you can pick up in store. So visit them on Bethlehem Pike in Hatfield or at buckscountyestatetraders.com.
Hi, this is Joe Mederchik, PNC Bank Regional President. Down the corner, around the block, and maybe even in your parking lot, PNC continues to bring banking services closer to your door. Greater Philadelphia is now one of 10 regions where we've permanently introduced the PNC Bank mobile branch. This bank on wheels can be seen rolling up to community organizations across the Delaware Valley. On site and by your side, the PNC mobile branch is part of our commitment to supporting communities that need it most. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Dom Giordano Show. Just a suggestion from Dan. A lot of people on social media, why don't they name where the Pulaski statue is Dom Giordano Avenue? That'll get people over there to see Pulaski.
Yeah.
All right, that is the side question.
Go see the guy anyway. Come on, he's a great one.
Yeah. Biden cancels student loans for art students. The total cost of forgiveness could exceed $1 trillion. The art institutes get forgiven for $6.1 billion. I say you can link these things, not in a direct, that every student loan debt issue, student, et cetera, is an ingrate like the Columbia students in the Maine are, but it raises the issue. It's not them as much as it is. Why is this enterprise, big college, able to get away with charging what they do, indoctrinating, being insufferable, being wimps, being anti-Israel, being anti-traditional America, and yet the spigot never ends? This is $1 trillion in forgiveness. Why is it they get away with this? Go on the attack against them, directly against them. And some of the students, in the manner that they're expressing this, certainly that's another element. And as far as another element, we're going to have Michael Waltz on, the congressman from Florida. I've often wanted to have him on later in the show on a wild thing. Republicans' majority is so small. They're telling people like Waltz, who, as you know, you've seen him on Fox 1,000 times, is a major military veteran, not to be skydiving, not to be jumping out of planes. And he is going to parachute into Normandy to celebrate the 80th anniversary of D-Day. So is he going to do it or not? Because the majority is so small. And Marjorie Taylor Greene announced today that she is going to try to vacate Mike Johnson. People like Whatley, who heads up the RNC along with Laura Trump, have been trying to meet with Johnson to help him out on this. And I agree. There are some conservatives who are stupid. They think Johnson has done the wrong thing on several big things. I do too, on FISA, on Ukraine. But you know what? You got to suck it up and live with it for now. That's right. There's one mission: win the White House. You know the debacle will happen if Marjorie Taylor Greene gets her way and we go through the whole thing that we saw the last time. It's a huge distraction. We're winning. Why shoot yourself in the foot with this stuff? Well, that's what the purists say. I say it's about winning. Same thing with mail-in vote. Let's tick them off. Mail-in voting. People don't like it. I don't like it. Rather vote on election day. We know what's going to happen if you do that. You're going to lose. We know the reasons why. We've been through it. We'll have an update today, by the way, on some of that. 2, abortion. They're going wild. Florida's abortion ban, 6 weeks kicked in today. You know what's going to happen if you go down this path. We've been through it how many times? This is a very similar thing. You going after Mike Johnson here, going through a big battle. That's exactly what they want. Think about it. What would Democrats do in a situation like this? They wouldn't try to take out the speaker. They would suck it up for now. Once the election's over in November, it's like the last scene in Godfather 1. That's when you settle all the family business. You're at the baptism then. You're at the inaugural. So, hey, where's Mike Johnson? I don't see Mike Johnson around. He's no longer speaker. That's when you do it. You don't do it now. This woman is a menace. She's an outright menace. Well, he's done the wrong things. You know what? I agree on some of that. But all these distractions by Republicans getting in the way of one thing, winning the presidency. If you do that, then you got a shot at clearing a lot of this up. If you don't, then you know what the consequences. I know that's hard to accept. It's not far down the road. I think I saw Mike Go's morning message today. It's like 180 days or 182, somewhere in the 180. It's not far away at all. All right. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Side question today. Hit us with somebody who deserves a statue. Put that statue right here in Philadelphia. Now, we don't know yet. I haven't seen the report. I'll check again. These students at Columbia and others, have they been let out of jail yet? Will Bragg follow through? He may not. I mean, that's a fact of life that this clown was elected. But that plays right into winning again. You make the point. The president sits there with some cockamamie made-up charges. These people actually burglarized a building. They did hold someone hostage, even for a minute. You can't be imprisoning someone and telling them you're not going anywhere. The janitors, among other things. Those are severe charges. What will he do? He probably will pull at Krasner. By the way, today, he's one of the most honored individuals. We're going to talk with Dr. Joel Fitzgerald. He is head of police, branch of the police in Denver. His son, Sergeant Christopher Fitzgerald, was the guy who was shot to death by this kid from the suburbs, allegedly, in like a video game fantasy at Temple. Remember that? Because Jim Jordan is bringing the big show here to Philadelphia on Friday, on the road, the House hearing on Larry Krasner. That seems to be the headline. That's going to be on the marquee at the federal building. And he's going to be one of the witnesses. So it's pretty bad when they do a road show with the Judiciary Committee to look at what is driving crime in America. I don't see Krasner on the witness list to testify, but I'm sure now that would be a top rope thing. Jim Jordan and Larry Krasner cleaning his glass. You know, when he does a glass thing and starts cleaning it, then the cockiness comes in. You know, he doesn't like that sort of audience, though. He can't shut the mic off. He can't say, we're going to kick you out, whatever. Yeah. I'm sure Jim Jordan might not even have a tie on, let alone a jacket for that one. He might be come out in wrestling outfit. There might be wrestling music. If we get him on, I'll ask him what music will be played before he comes out for this judiciary hearing. All right, let me go to Patty in South Philly. Pat's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Patty, welcome in.
Hey, Dom. Hi, Dan. How are you today?
Good, Pat.
My suggestion is the statue for Frank Colombo, since they voted to have the drive named after him and took it back. And I think he should be right on the way to the Philadelphia Zoo, where he did so much philanthropic work and did so much for so many people in South Philly. He was,
and that would
he
be
was
that'd be a bank shot honoring Irv Homer, who led the charge with that. I can't take credit for that one. Irv led the charge and got it named, and then they pulled it away. And yet Kelly, no offense to him, was just a city councilman who was connected to royalty and bricks. What did he ever do? But you had the drive named after him.
Absolutely, Dom. And do it while his children are alive. His wife, Kippy, who was another icon in Philly, didn't get to see that happen. And she was so thrilled when they named that, that it was going to happen, and she didn't get to see it. So maybe a statue would be nice.
It's good stuff. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, Frank Palumbo, without a doubt. All right. Irv Homer did some great stuff. That was one of the biggest. All right, we'll put that one down. That's what we're looking for. Or a statue that's out there that you think is underplayed. Today, Kate Smith Day. If they can do it to Kate Smith, they can do it to anybody. Okay, coming up, Laura Trump is going to join us. And I know they told us that she wants to talk about the debates. Will they happen and how they're pushing for it? The Trump people today gave notice they want to debate before September because people will already have voted by him. What's the sense on that? If Biden does, I haven't seen the odds on this. If Vegas would give you odds, I think they have to be astronomical. They can't even let him walk to the helicopter by himself. They're putting all kinds of people carrying big bags like shopping bag ladies or something. Giant bags are running with them and blocking the sun. They're all laughing at each other. Suddenly, all these people have to be on the helicopter with them and all those bags. Why? Well, it blocks you being able to see him walk to the helicopter. I could see him trying to put it on the roof and let him just walk. Well, he doesn't want to walk up the steps to the helicopter. All right, phone lines with Dom. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Hey, don't miss out on the memorial sale at Rescue Natural Supplements going on right now with prices rising across the country. Rescue is doing the opposite. They're rolling back pricing to the year 2010. Enjoy their fantastic buy 2 bottles, get 1 free, buy 3 bottles, get 2 free Memorial Day deals. Stock up on your favorites, save big with Rescue rollback pricing and generous free bottle offers. So whether you're in need of the 1250 omega-3s, cholesterol supporters, probiotics, natural pain relief, everything is on sale. To order, call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a Rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com, res-q.com. Don't miss this opportunity for huge savings on over 50 Rescue products to tackle your health goals. Remember, 2010 rollback prices and the memorial deals are going on now through May 30th. So go shop res-q.com, res-q.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades. decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
Hey, Philly. Jason Kelsey here. Even though I won't be playing on Sundays anymore, you can still find me at Lincoln Financial Field on Saturday, May 18th for the Eagles Autism Challenge, presented by Lincoln Financial Group. This event raises millions of dollars to support autism research and care and gives you the chance to walk, run, or ride your bike beside your favorite Eagles players. Together, we can transform the lives of individuals affected by autism. Register today at eaglesautismchallenge.org, and I'll see you there.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra in a tribute to Philly sports fans at Wildwood Catholic Academy in North Wildwood and at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Alan Iverson, Cole Hamels, Joel Embiid.
My dad set this up. This was actually a gift to us to bring us all together, come see Joe and relive all the Philadelphia history. Come see it. It's amazing.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic on June 29th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Weather sponsored by Joseph Anthony Retreat, Spa, and Salon.
The summer-like air mass continues to remain in place across the Delaware Valley today. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds with a high 82. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 62. And for Thursday, warmer, partly sunny with a high 86.
Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon, the secret to spoiling the moms in your life this spring. Now with 3 locations, Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City at the Lowe's Hotel. Visit in person or online at josephanthony.com, where gift cards are available. That's josephanthony.com.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, time to your Giordano show. Developing story I'm watching before we welcome in Laura Trump. 2,000 students and faculty at Penn are going to deliver, apparently, a petition to the acting president to follow through on his threat to shut down the encampment. They're going to be walking and delivering that petition there because they say that people in the encampment are violating all kinds of health codes, et cetera, and they're just pro-Hamas. Wow. Where's that coming from? All right, we'll tell you if we get the names of the who's involved in that, but that's a good sign. Now, you know how many times listeners are concerned about election integrity. Mail-in balloting is the driving concern, but that is equally important, if not more. And Laura Trump has been on the show before to talk about that. I know they also want to talk about the debate. So let's welcome back to Philadelphia, RNC co-chair Laura Trump. Hey, Laura, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
Well, I know you guys have to be happy. I know you were at the correspondents' dinner with all their talk that Joe Biden can't wait to debate President Trump.
Well, it's news to us, and it is music to our ears because from the RNC, we've been asking for weeks now for an answer on whether or not Joe Biden would be participating in the debates. We had multiple news outlets sign a letter asking the White House, asking the Biden campaign, would Joe Biden agree to a debate with Donald Trump? And now I guess we could say a big thank you to Howard Stern for getting that out of him. And we're happy to hear it. The only thing I would say, Dom, is we need more debates, and we need the debates to be earlier because the reality is they have the first debate scheduled for mid-September. Early voting in a lot of states starts at the beginning of September. You could have millions of votes potentially cast in this country without seeing these two men on stage together to talk about their two presidencies. And that's a unique opportunity we have right now. We can actually compare two distinct presidencies between these two different men and see what worked and what didn't work. And we are owed that as the American public. So we're excited from the RNC, and we can't wait to move that debate right on up.
And I agree with you. This idea of every other week there's a debate toward the end is silliness. That's like a prehistoric idea versus people will have a pretty good understanding. Two presidents on stage, do it right after Labor Day and then maybe the end of the month. And then in mid-October, maybe you have to move it up even more. And you have been one of the biggest proponents too. And the president on True Social did say recently, vote early, vote in a absentee manner, everything that's legal. So in Pennsylvania, you may have seen this due to your role as chair of the RNC, that we did see better numbers in mail-in balloting for Republicans in the recent primary.
Yes, well, that's exactly right. And I think, and I hope the message is being heard loud and clear. You're exactly right. We want people to vote as early as they can and in whatever way they possibly can, because we're going to have to start playing this game differently if we want to beat the Democrats. We cannot play two different games and think we're ever going to win. And so I was really happy to see that indeed, I think the message is getting out there. And, we also we have a unique ability right now at the RNC that we never had before, which is that we can train people to work in these polling locations. We can train people now from the RNC to work in these tabulation centers where the mail-in ballots, where the absentee ballots are coming in. We are going to be able to physically handle and have eyes on this sort of thing the entire process, because all we want and all everyone should want, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or independent, is transparency in our elections. We should make it harder to cheat and easier to vote for every American citizen. And so, yes, we are very pleased to see that. I'm hoping that we see that continue throughout the country. And I think if we do, it will result in a huge win come November 5th for Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, with our listeners, and you've been a champion of this, election integrity. Now, I played many times, you were on with Eric Bowling on Newsmax, about the physically handling. The consent decree that the RNC was under has gone away for a variety of reasons. And that is big news, and you've pounced on it correctly, meaning the actual physical handling, the chain of custody, all these things. Could you explain a little bit more? Because Bowling kind of went past that. There were other things. What you mean by that, and 100,000 watchers is the goal, I guess, in the swing states.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We're recruiting, and we've recruited quite a few people, 100,000 volunteers to be poll watchers, poll workers all across this country. And we believe that will ensure election integrity this round. And I mean, like, the truth is we learned a lot of hard lessons that year. And you're right. This consent decree that we had at the RNC prevented us for 40 years from doing what you're talking about, which is actually training people to work in these polling locations, to work in the tabulation centers. The judge who implemented it passed away last year, and so it was lifted. The advantage that gives us is that we don't just have someone standing in a room, across the room, 20 feet away. Maybe you can see stuff, maybe you can't. We're not falling for the old COVID stuff anymore. Oh, you can't come in here. We're going to put paper on the windows right now so you can't see. You're there working in these locations, and you can count how many ballots are coming in and how many ballots are going out. You can physically see these things. You can physically handle these things. And that gives us such an advantage in our transparency. That means that, they're not going to be able to shove ballots in suitcases and all those sorts of maneuvers that maybe they're using on the other side. I won't say whether or not they are. I'll leave that up to people to judge. But it is very important, because the most important role, I believe, of the RNC is election integrity. Obviously, we have to get out the vote, but we also have to protect that vote. Because if we do not have free, fair, and transparent elections in the United States of America, we are not the same country we always thought we were. And so we're taking it very seriously. We're very excited about this new chapter at the RNC. We have an entire election integrity division here at the building. I'm physically here right now. I just met with our team earlier today. These folks are working overtime to ensure that on November 5th, we are leaving nothing to chance. We aren't waiting weeks on end to put lawsuits forward to question anything. We're going to strike at a moment's notice. If anyone wants to be part of our team, protectthevote.com. Please come volunteer with us. Please come get trained as a poll worker. Please, if you're an attorney and you want to work for us as well, we need attorneys in every major polling location across this country as well. Protectthevote.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
And I think this election integrity, along with the other things, emphasizes you have some people that get into this mode, exactly what the left wants us to do. Don't vote. It's fixed anyhow. This not only assures against that, but I think it inspires more people to realize the lessons learned, and you've been right in the front of this, of 2020 are well underway to be incorporated this time around.
Well, that's right. And listen, I think that we all had a lot of questions about 2020, but you can't go back and litigate that right now. Right now, our main focus needs to be on winning in 2024, and that's exactly what we're doing. And so, yes, everybody should feel that their vote matters and that their vote counts. Do not sit this one out. Dom, this is the most important election of any of our lifetimes. I truly believe that. The stakes are incredibly high. If it's successful for the Democrats to employ communist tactics against their opponent, against Donald Trump, by keeping him in these ridiculous trials, locked up, not able to go out on the campaign trail, forced to sit in a courtroom in Manhattan, if they are successful in their attempt to thwart the will of we, the people, we do not have the same country on the other side of this. And this could be the last election we ever have. Don't be tricked by the Democrats. Get out and vote. As early as you can vote, we want you to go vote. And then I want you every day from that moment up until Election Day to take someone to go vote. Drive them to the polling location if you have to. Your friends, your neighbors, your family, your dentist, your doctor, whoever it is, get them out to vote. No one can sit this one out. It is far too important.
Well, Laura, I'll just say shameless plug, my dentist, and he's a sponsor, Dr. Bentz. Remember that. I'm taking you to the polls. Laura Trump said, take Dr. Bentz to the polls after I vote by mail. This will be the first time I've ever voted by mail. It's a big step for me. You may have shared that, the beauty of Election Day. But once you do that, you're freed up to concentrate on other people.
Well, that's right. And you also never know what happens in life. And life does happen. You have weather situations. Don't forget about places like Arizona, where they had an entire polling location who had their machines go down on Election Day, and people had to leave. They had to get back to their life. Don't leave it to the last minute. Don't leave it to chance. Bank that vote. We've got to make it too big to rig. That's the goal this election cycle. That's what we plan to do from the RNC and the Trump campaign.
And the website to go to if you want to be a poll watcher, et cetera, where do they go?
Protectthevote.com. If you want to volunteer, if you want to donate and show the Democrats that their communist tactics aren't working, DonaldJTrump.com or GOP.com. We appreciate everyone's support so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come volunteer with us and help us win and be successful come November 5th.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much, as always.
You're the best. Thanks a lot.
All right, there. Does that make you feel better on the election integrity part? That's why I asked it about some people. Oh, why even bother with this? It's rigged, can't win. They're going to do X, Y, and Z. They're going to be trying to do a lot of things. Coming up, an update on a story that we told you about, where the Democrat, this Mark Elias, said this is a critical decision here in Pennsylvania. They lost, and yesterday they lost even bigger. I'll explain, but you get in now at 855-839-1210 here on the Dom Show, and hit us on the side question, too, while you're at it. The NBA playoffs have tipped off, but it's not too late to get in on the action with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. Right now, new customers, you get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. $150 to use on same-game parlays, live bets, championship futures, and a lot more. No better place to bet on the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. Need I say, we haven't talked about it fully yet. We'll get to it. The Sixers, I make them the favorite.
They are
I
the
think
favorite.
they win. Yeah.
You want to know what it is?
How much?
3.5 points.
Oh, that's measly.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially just the home court advantage, right?
Yeah. I think they have the edge now. We'll wait to Game 7 and see how Game 6 goes, but I would take them on Thursday night, no doubt.
3.5 points?
Yeah.
And over 200?
Yeah.
200 points, yeah?
Yeah, 200 points.
All
9
right.
o'clock start time.
It's a late start.
Weird. The real fans will be out. Those New Yorkers may not be able to come down. They got to get back to be arrogant in New York the next day. So let's hope that cuts down on them.
But
But
just Joel makes up with a 30-point game?
no.
No?
No, I would not.
How about
take that.
Tyrese a 30-point game next
Yes.
year? All right, so so above 200 points or over 200, the Sixers winning 3.5 spread, and Maxey over 30 points, Dom. 3-leg parlay, $10 wins you $49.
That's a relatively easy one,
I
too.
think so, yeah.
So just go to FanDuel.com right now, /Dom to get started. Now, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. You have to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. They expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Marine Corps Sergeant Jerry L. Golden III. It's an honor to spotlight you and your brothers. Thank you for everything you do for this nation. And I know this audience, especially so, incredibly grateful.
Thank you for support. I would like to say one more thing. I want to shout out my mom and say thank you. She has done so many great things for me.
The man knows Mother's Day.
Man.
11 days around the corner, right?
I'm playing chess here.
Yeah.
Playing chess.
and normally I'm anti-shout out on the radio, but his arms are so big. What am I going to say? He'll toss me through this window.
It's true.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. ramp.com/250.
This summer's temperatures are getting hot. Luckily, Hutchinson Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Heating is here to help keep you cool. Right now, get $50 off same-day AC repair. Or go ahead and upgrade that old unit and save up to $3,700 toward a new full home comfort system. Same-day service, expert technicians, and a job done right the first time. Need service today? Visit HutchComfort.com, and Hutchinson's help is on the way.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. Welcome in. Do you feel better shot this time around, not having as many Democrat shenanigans pop up that they're on it? The other thing is, what in the world is the Biden administration thinking about by putting out feelers due to a refugee program they'd like to bring Gazan refugees here. I'll explain what they're doing. They're putting out feelers to see the level of intensity of people going nuts, which it would be incredible, versus does that take some of the heat off them with the mob? That's our first concern, the mob. And bottom line, the way I see it, no matter what they do, the mob is not going to be satisfied. They're going to continue to do this stuff. Now, the intensity level could go down a hair, but by and large, it's going to be a big political problem. You can't buy them off. No matter what you give them, they're telling you what they want. They don't want the Jews there, which was interesting what happened at UCLA. Once the police were called in last night, in the middle of the night, our time at UCLA, to take away their encampment, what happened is you then had pro-Israel protesters square off with the Hamas crowd. And by all accounts, the pro-Israel people really pushed back. And, you know, this gives lie to the idea, several people pointing out on Twitter, that Jewish Americans are just going to take it. They're going to be patsies. They can be pushed around here. At UCLA, they were not. And the other side got the worst of it once the police removed the encampment situation. Yes, Dan.
No, I was just, is there a wimpier looking group of protesters than these, you know, pro-Palestine? I don't know, you know. So.
Yeah, hard to, well, the women are shrill, but yeah, the guys. So at UCLA.
A lot of avocado being eaten.
At the UCLA thing, that was quite a spectacle. But why bring in people from Gaza? Here we go again. Would they really do that? Yes, they would really do it. And the next hour, I'll give you the latest on a program that really brings it all home. When people are here illegally, cheap labor comes into the country. It undercuts people at the bottom that don't have white collar skills. They might have other skills, but they don't have that. Okay. No one seems to care. When Trump ran, it was a big issue. Now the Biden administration, massive, one of those visa programs for white collar workers. Why would America, their version of this is, well, that's what makes America great. We bring in people from all over the world. How about the American worker? Well, the American worker is just going to have to compete with these people. Really? Is that what we want to do? Does it hit home? This has happened before. I'll give you some of the numbers coming up. When it becomes white collar workers, let's say coming across that border where 500,000 lawyers with briefcases to take over the jobs of the American lawyers. You think said lawyers are going to be telling us all the wonders of immigration, how we need more in the population? I don't think so. They're doing it because they're undercutting the average American worker. Well, now they're bringing in white collar. Why would we need these people? Why would our country need these people? I don't think we need any legal immigration at this point. I'm so dead set because of what the illegal immigration is overwhelmed and the American worker. I don't see any need for legal immigration at this point. Why would we do that? All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Coming to your calls with Dom and Dan on Talk Radio 1210.
Are you concerned about your child struggling in school? Do they need more of a challenge? Now's the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2 to 1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social, and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Listen to Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sunday mornings at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Learn about investing, tax strategies, and more. Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
Camden County and Visit South Jersey have an action-packed weekend for wine and beer lovers. Enjoy a day sipping wine at the annual Down and Derby Wine Festival with South Jersey's favorite wineries this Saturday. And get ready to fiesta like there's no mañana at the Spring on Tap Beer Festival on Cinco de Mayo this Sunday at Veterans Island at Cooper River Park. One weekend, one location, tons of fun. Buy your tickets now at downandderbywinefestival.com. Downandderbywinefestival.com. Spring on Tap is free to attend.
Jim Cipriati at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriati, NPN number 2083768.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Okay, it is Dom time. Welcome in. Got the side question. Who deserves a statue in Philadelphia? It's Kate Smith Day. Kate Smith statue. Let it out of the warehouse. Let's go with that. All right. Sometimes, many times, stories come our way because we have people that are plugged into various things. They see stuff, and whether the media ever gets to it or before they do and spin it a particular way. I'll just say this as a preamble before Dan tells us in general what we're waiting on. And I predict over the next hours, you'll start to see this. The Christine Nome story is out there. You know, the dog story. We talked about that way back on Friday, I guess, that she actually put it in her book. She's still defending it. Her book is out next week and all that. And this, we said at the time, is incredibly bad. Thank God she wasn't the VP choice. That's all that people would have talked about. You know it exactly. Whether you think it's right, wrong, or indifferent, when it's a situation like this with a pet, particularly a dog. So, Dan, we apparently have a situation in Philadelphia.
Horrific.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, I could see this becoming an issue that goes viral here soon. It's a video I was sent a couple times now by a couple different sources, and what appears to be a pack of dogs. I don't know if they're owned by anyone or if they're wild, where they're coming from. In West Philadelphia, this looks to be. And the video starts with a person filming, and it shows this pack of dogs go up and viciously attack a private citizen.
Mm-hmm.
They swarm the person on the ground. Police pull up to break it up, and shots are fired, and you see a giant dog enter the center of the frame and just, pass away from what looks to be a gunshot wound by a Philadelphia police officer. So anytime, dogs are involved, animals are involved, death is involved, whether it's human or animal, it becomes a big story, and it's a very sad thing to see here.
All right, so we'll let you know when the local media gets to that. Sometimes we get something like this, and given the backdrop of Kristi Noem and given the backdrop of whenever you have one of these stories, you'll probably see it today, and if it's in the course of action, as Dan described it, of somebody who's being attacked, well, of course, that's what they may have to do. That's exactly what they should do. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Yesterday, the last couple minutes of the show, and we have more details now. Now, I think the Biden administration is behind this. I don't differ with this. The repercussions are going to be unbelievable, though, in some ways. Yesterday, it came out that the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration will move to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Now, maybe you're not aware that currently where it's designated, it would be with what, without a doubt, are much more serious drugs. They plan to move marijuana from its current classification as a Schedule I drug alongside heroin and LSD. It would move it to Schedule III alongside anabolic steroids and things like that, following a recommendation from the Federal Health and Human Services Department. After the public comment period and a review, the agency would eventually publish the final rule. Now, sometimes two things at the same time can be true. This is long overdue. It's like 50 years of this stuff. And I have to tell you, one of my top 10 things in talk radio from when I started till now is the changeover, almost universally. Occasionally, some people call in and are pretty fired up. Whenever any of these stories, like when Murphy ran the first time in Jersey, he ran on saying, yeah, we're going to legalize marijuana if you elect me. And I remember telling you, even Ocean City, when they voted to do that. It's been a sea change. Now, the AP says, though, that with all these states now where it's decriminalized or legal, it would remain regulated by the DEA. That means the roughly 15,000 cannabis dispensaries in the United States would have to register with the DEA like regular pharmacies, fulfill strict reporting requirements, something they're loath to do and that the DEA is ill-equipped to handle.
And how are we going to pay for this? Are we going to hire taxes?
Well, I guess the taxation comes from, I'm not sure if the pharmacies are taxed. So, look, that's a lot. I didn't know there were 15,000 of them. There'd probably be more. But again, this is not an unserious thing. Christie's made the best argument on this to a degree. There might be a difference in the marijuana of today versus years. There's synthetic. There's different things like that. So it is not a nothing drug.
That's none of your business.
Thank you, Governor. But by and large, America has come around. I'm kind of surprised Pennsylvania hasn't done it yet. But I would say under Shapiro, there were rumblings this year that they are going to legalize it or decriminalize it to make it pretty much legal. 855-839-1210. This is exactly right, though. This should not be grouped with heroin or LSD. It goes back to a previous time. I'm not sure why there was never enough of a push. They were afraid. But they've seen now there's no reason to be fearful of this. What's the net impact for Biden?
Did you know that there's already a lot of head shops here in Philadelphia that sell marijuana over the counter? And it's allegedly perfectly legal using a loophole that was instituted in the 2018 Biden Farm Bill. So
I can't imagine it's legal. It's decriminalized.
No. So what happened is back in 2018, he lessened the restrictions around hemp. And what he allowed is the sale of THCA, which is the acid on the plant of hemp and marijuana, which is when you add it to combustion, when you add it to a flame, that's when it becomes THC, which makes a person high. So he essentially legalized the distribution of THCA as long as you're not providing, alongside of it, a flame to turn it into THC. Okay. So a lot of head shops around the area have actually taken that as a sign to start selling over-the-counter marijuana. And as a person who enters into these head shops often to buy vape-related things for nicotine and all, I see people buying weed just over the counter in Philadelphia.
Well, I know in Philadelphia it's decriminalized, not enforced. It would have to be a major thing. So maybe that's a little part of it. Bottom line is, politically, this is Biden, and they'll subtly make this case. It's like the student loan debt doing it now. But I think America's ready for it. It's commonsensical. This should not be grouped with heroin or LSD. Now, you can make the argument. I think Christie would. Christie's one of the ones that makes more reasonable arguments. This is just going to encourage it more by taking away. So you can't be serious and have marijuana linked with heroin and LSD. Ketamine. Ketamine. We had a whole thing on that when they were going to put it out there in Radnor. That's where it would be on the schedule of drugs. Now, I guess that's legal in Pennsylvania. After all, they were offering it there. We had the people on back and forth trying to prevent it in the Radnor area. That's where this would fall. And anabolic steroids, I'm not sure how it would be grouped with that. It's a big change, though. They haven't done it yet, but they're on the way to do that, without a doubt. 855-839-1210. And the stunning thing is how much this has changed over the last 20 years, 5 years even, of the level of acceptance. Periodically, we look and see what's happening in New Jersey. They're bringing in revenue. I don't know if it's the billions and billions of dollars that Murphy and other Democrats talked about. I seriously doubt it, that it's after the initial surge. I haven't seen in a while, though, their bottom line, what they argue the amount is. But the bottom line is this: people want it. And is this a way for Biden to say, ultimately, if I have another term, we'll remove any federal regulation on this? I don't know if that's doable. I don't know if the will's there to do that. All right. But this is a big deal that has been talked about forever. And there was just fear on the part of people, particularly if you're a Republican, that if you do this, that is going to cost you. People are still not going to accept this. I used to think Pennsylvania was slightly against legalizing it. I just think now there are places where you can't even have, here's the deal though. If we're going to legalize marijuana, then get the hell out of the state stores. Stop it already with that.
For real.
I'm willing to make that deal. You can't tell me people can get marijuana.
I think you just open up a huge box here. That's probably why it's taken so long in Pennsylvania. They're trying to figure out a way that they can control the distribution themselves.
Well, true. And also because we have these teetotalers in the center of the state who don't like alcohol. Well, too bad. Don't drink it. Get out of our way and let us be able to get it in a supermarket. I know you can get it. It's the quality in the section. But, the wine store I go to is within 5 minutes of the super. And the supermarket has almost nothing.
Yep.
You got to go to another guy. You got to show your ID.
Yep.
You got to take it out of there. You got to do this stuff.
Give the secret passcode.
Yeah. How is that convenient in a supermarket? And the answer is it's not. In other states, you just go in and buy it. The selection would be pretty much like our state stores suck too. They're bad. I tried to get a wine that Leslie had given me. I talked about. The guy looked at me. Oh, we've never had that. Apparently, they have it in Jersey. They have a giant store with it. I got to go there to get it.
Wine selection in Jersey.
It's endless. And what is it? It's the stinking union, too. They want those union jobs there. They're not going to give them up if this were privatized. Periodically, I have on the guy that's a union head, and he tells me how many people I'm going to kill if it were privatized. Come on, people are ready for this in Pennsylvania. All right, 855-839-1210. Is this the last gasp here to end the great marijuana debates that have raged forever? And Christie has made a point. Yeah, it might be different. It might be more potent. He makes an argument on that. I get that. Isn't the bottom line, though? People are making an adult decision. And the only thing that I think is a fly in the ointment, I still believe it's harder to tell if someone's driving inebriated with this than they are if it's alcohol. That appears to be a difficult. Then you have the insurance regulations. If you're operating heavy machinery and it's in your system and there's an accident, but somehow or another, Colorado, Jersey seem to have dealt with them. Let me go to Jeff in Hatboro to start us off here with Dom. Jeff, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jeff, afternoon.
Hey, Dom, how you doing?
Good.
So I just was telling Jim, and I think you're going to find this kind of interesting. I was in a severe motorcycle crash quite a ways back. I had 40 skull fractures, so I was in bad shape. So I have a lot of nerve pain. They put a titanium eye socket in me, rods in my legs and all. Anyway, so I take this drug, gabapentin, for that, quite a big dose, 2,800 milligrams. My friend Susan has nerve pain from being a hairdresser for a lot of years. So she gets her dispensary. She goes to the dispensary. She gets the marijuana. She rolls it sometimes. She has this little glass pipe that she uses. And she said, Jeff, you got to try this. You got to get off that medication. Dom, I tried it twice. I'm not exaggerating or lying to you. I couldn't drive. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. I was literally non-functional. Just after, and Dom, no lie, I took it and she said, just take one hit of it, breathe it in, and then see how you feel. I did that twice. I got to the end of my street. I was trying to drive. I didn't even know which way to turn the car.
Well, I guess it might be rare, Jeff. I don't know how many people have that reaction. If you do, then you know that might not be the thing for you. So I can see that's something you have to try out yourself. Who should have a statue? Who should have a statue, Jeff?
William Penn's up there. You know what, Tom? I wasn't thinking about that because I'm working, but you guys have a great day.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Wanted to throw that.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Well, look, people anecdotally have, I'm not discounting that. That could be true. I'm just saying on broad strokes, this is a good thing. There's no universe where you ought to have this in with heroin and LSD. Now, it will free up, but you heard that the dispensaries then have to, now, can the DEA, can they deal with that? I'm not sure what that means, how difficult it would be. I get the level of regulation, just like it's regulated in Jersey. Okay. But this movement is not a bad thing. I haven't seen a Republican say anything about it. The Biden people think it's an angle with young people. We'll see how they play out with it. All right, side question today, though. It's Kate Smith Day in Philadelphia, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Coming up, and it's only a start, but I know people get angry when we see somebody get away with something, usually on the left, like a Fauci, somebody like that, and they never seem to get caught up with. Going to tell you about somebody associated with COVID big time, not Fauci, somebody else right up there, who now is facing a lot of trouble because of Republicans in the House and a House committee who's recommended all kinds of things coming off what this guy did as we entered the COVID period. These things take a while. It's maddening. Doesn't it ever end? Doesn't justice ever happen? I'll give you the details on that with Dom on Talk Radio 1210.
Okay, the weather is finally getting warmer. Summer's almost here. So Friday, May 3rd, let's get a jump start on summer and head to Cape May.
All right, Sealy Army, the weather's warm. It's time to head down the shore, and I want you to join me for our first live show of the year in my happy place, the Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey. Hijinks will ensue. You better be there.
Join Rick Seoli for the first live broadcast of 24 at the Grand Hotel in Cape May this Friday, May 3rd on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
This is Bill Hoffman, president of Hoffman's Exterminating. We've been protecting Delaware Valley homes and businesses from pests for 34 years, all while supporting our local community. We also support those who protect us, our veterans. Robert Rutherford, our Director of People and Culture, served 10 years in the U.S. Marine Corps. We at Hoffman's have made a commitment to hire veterans. Our veterans are valued, and the skills they learned in the military are transferable. Join the Hoffman's family and visit us at hoffmansexterminating.com.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, Clementon. Yeah! We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. You know, Dan, I'm getting scattered reports about people and their going to the Trump rally in Wildwood, and particularly, I'll be announcing something soon where I'm going to be before the rally and then going into the rally and all that. But they're opening the beach at noon. Are people really going to go in at noon? This is nuts.
Yeah, they will. You don't think so?
Well,
they're going to be camping out overnight.
Well, they're not allowed there. They'll have it closed off.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably been a queue set up. Like last time they did it a while,
Yeah.
people were set up in that queue line for a long time. And didn't they have tents set up and they were sleeping there?
Yeah, but they were going indoors. You know what I mean? This is going to be out there. You're going to be out there 5 hours on the beach before anything starts.
I think they will.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's an unusual type of thing.
Like to get close to the stage. Yeah.
All right. It's I got to know. From
It's not for
people.
me, but I do think there will be.
Yeah,
people
and
there.
I'm hearing scattered stuff, high enthusiasm among some, but I can't quite tell how widespread it is after that first time around.
You think they're going to fill it or not?
I don't know. It's an unusual event. These always draw, but I'm not sure. The first time around, you know, it was just the audacity of doing that in January in Wildwood. And it was a 7,000 seat arena to fill up.
And they turned people away. They just set up TVs outside because people are still stuck in line.
True.
and had to
All right,
watch
so
out there.
maybe there were 10,000 there. This is like a 40 to 50,000
Yeah.
plus sort of thing. I don't know. You're going to be on the beach 5 hours?
I don't know.
waiting
It's a
for the
nice
thing?
kickoff weekend. It's beautiful weather. Like, you don't think people are looking around? It's like, all right, it might be nice, or it will probably be nice by then, right? It's
Well, Rose going with me. We're going down, but I just see temperatures around in Wildwood anyhow, 63 to 65.
that's
So,
tough.
yeah, on the here it's going to be warmer, but on the beach that length, I need to hear from people and see if they're up in the air about that or what they're planning or how they're
Yeah, I'm
figuring
looking
this.
here at a monthly forecast on weather.com, 72 degrees and partly sunny for the 11th.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's not bad.
With a wind breeze or ocean breeze. And
No rain. That part's good. All right. It's 855-839-1210. You get on board AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. Now, we're trying to hook up with these parents of these middle schoolers. These are females. This is in West Virginia, a state that's trying their hardest to push back against the nonsense of having someone transgender, meaning a male, perform against females. So 5 West Virginia middle schoolers who protested a transgendered athlete's participation in a track and field competition, shot put too, which makes it more difficult, have been barred from future meets. So not only do they say, you're going to let this person in in something like shot put, you got to think that's a pretty good advantage, someone male versus female, particularly at that age. And if you don't, you are going to be barred from competing in any track and field and future events. I don't know how long that goes on, but it seems to be unclear. So we're going to let males compete against you, and then we're not going to let you compete against females in the future. That's what they're saying here. And it's West Virginia. It's not California. So the West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrissey filed a lawsuit against the Harrison County Board of Education on the matter of this 18-year-old girl or 18-year-old transgender who takes puberty blocking medication and estrogen hormone therapy. While West Virginia law bans transgender girls from playing on girls' sports teams, a recent federal appeals court ruled that the law couldn't lawfully be applied to the 8th grader. But imagine, rather than saying, all right, you don't want to compete against this person, we don't care, we're going to have this person in throw the shot put by themselves. I don't know if they exactly did that. They may have. You're not going to compete against females in the future, even if this person doesn't deign to do this. You mean to say that America is going to accept this ultimately, that the Biden administration is going to win on this one, that they're going to make the case again and again and again that this is hateful, it's unfair, and you're going to take away the opportunity of middle school girls to compete going forward so they get their mind right along with their parents, that they have to compete against this other individual who shouldn't be in there to start with. Yeah. I mean, usually they would say, okay, well, they don't like it because, Dan, apparently it's a limited field. Oh, the person will feel bad because they'll be the only one throwing the shot put since the other's not going to be compete. Well, then go compete somewhere else. How much of this can you take to take away from young girls and to go through the levels of the federal government to enforce this and to hit them with the ultimate penalty? These are not adults making these decisions. That would be bad enough. And yet, seems to hang in the balance that they're getting away with it. Now, tonight, the Penn Ridge School District is having another meeting. And as I understand it, based upon the material tonight, the debate will be over. They want to have restrooms for everyone. So I don't know if that means some will be based on your biological sex. Some could be whatever you're feeling that day, your gender fluidity. This is Penn Ridge, which was highly conservative in the past. Tonight, again, they may pass this, or at least they're having another meeting on changing their regulation now, which is normalcy. I mean, the way around this, and they don't like it, is if the person feels they wanted the restroom, have a single restroom. There are single restroom usages. Do that rather than go through this whole thing. But to me, I know most people, Dan, that's the one that's most upsetting to people. I get it, why that's the most upsetting. I'll admit it. You know what the most upsetting to me is? The competitive one.
Yeah.
That is always going to be the most upsetting to me.
Well, it goes further than just the competitive nature of it. It's the opportunity that's being taken away from young girls everywhere.
Right,
I mean, these middle school girls who are competing here,
Right.
they hope to, I would think, use this to spurn maybe a scholarship or something, and now they're being forced to compete with somebody who's physically advantageous. It's like putting up a high schooler with steroids against kids that don't use steroids. Like, come on.
And if you don't participate, then you're going to be banned from future events if you don't participate in this one. And it's such a limited thing. And female sports, we made this point again and again. It's one of the most beautiful things that's happened over the last 25 years. The opportunity, leadership skills, academic scholarship, sheer joy of winning and losing, things associated with that. How much have we been through this? Why in the world are they holding their own on this, though? I just don't think Republicans, look, we know the media bias, but Republicans have not done a good enough job maybe at articulating this either. All right, coming up, I've long wanted to get Representative Waltz on the show. You've seen him, I believe, Army Ranger. I didn't look at the bio again. In the years that I've seen him, he's much in demand on Fox. He's from Florida. He's going to join us next, Representative Michael Waltz, because Wall Street Journal had a big piece on Republicans. They're so afraid of their majority is so slim. They told X number of people, no more skydiving, no more mountain biking, don't go to Haiti, and a multitude of other things. Does it come down to that? He is going to jump into Normandy for the 80th anniversary. He's the first Green Beret elected to Congress and still serves as a colonel in the U.S. Army National Guard. I'm glad I can call him Colonel then, Jimmy Matthews, since he still serves as that. And I'll ask him, what's going on with the House now? Here comes Marjorie Taylor Greene again. Now's not the time to take Mike Johnson out. Let him go through the election cycle. Then let's recess and see then if we like what Mike Johnson's doing. They can do that. Now doing a big deal to try to take him out when things are going relatively smoothly. I'll say this, the biggest hurdle I see President Trump having to being president again, strangely, is the outcome of the New York case. If the New York case goes that he's convicted on something and the appeal is going to take after the election, I don't think it's going to be as overwhelming as predicted that independents and others would turn on him. But every half point gets me nervous. It's an incremental game in the swing states. This could be this goofy trial in New York with a porn star and Michael Cohen. That attorney we had on the other day said a guy in a cheap suit, a pecker, a porn star, and a perjurer all together. That could be the biggest hurdle for Trump to become president. Think of all the other stuff out there. That's probably the biggest thing that could determine stuff. All right, we'll talk with the congressman next. You get in at 855-839-1210. Hey, Captain Chucky's reminds you to make the call for a delectable dinner for mom. Mother's Day, May 12th, order delicious seafood. Make your list and let Captain Chucky's help. Don't forget to order the brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake. Delicious, creamy, 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick. For those who like to spice it up with some heat, check your store for availability. Important to call them up. Perfect time, too, to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuff, mushrooms, salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides. Captain Chucky's, several choices, multitude of choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. There's literally crab cake for everybody. Dessert, soup, sides, appetizers, the highest quality ingredients. That Gulf shrimp, huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. My favorite, those delicious dom rolls. Got to try them too. One website with all these goodies and hours and everything else. Just go to welovecrabcakes.com. Welovecrabcakes.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
The summer-like air mass continues to remain in place across the Delaware Valley today. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds with a high 82. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 62. And for Thursday, warmer, partly sunny with a high 86.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit, 800-790-1400, 800-790-1400.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hey, Philly.
Jason Kelsey here. Even though I won't be playing on Sundays anymore, you can still find me at Lincoln Financial Field on Saturday, May 18th for the Eagles Autism Challenge, presented by Lincoln Financial Group. This event raises millions of dollars to support autism research and care and gives you the chance to walk, run, or ride your bike beside your favorite Eagles players. Together, we can transform the lives of individuals affected by autism. Register today at eaglesautismchallenge.org, and I'll see you there.
You know, this is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain because the weather is breaking. Everybody's getting out today, whether it's golfing, going out, jogging, working out. And that joint pain is keeping you from doing everything you love to do. Am I right here? If you're tired of those achy joints, I want you to call my friends at QC Kinetics before you ever agree to things like surgery or steroids or medications. Patrick loves to golf like our own Nick Cale, although Patrick definitely wears his sunscreen. Patrick couldn't even walk because of that horrible knee pain. But after his QC Kinetics regenerative treatments for his knees, Patrick is back and has the best handicap he's seen in 15 years. How does that sound? I'd love to be talking about your story next, where you were able to get lasting relief, no downtime. Don't wait to call QC Kinetics 215-999-3000. Get that free consultation, 215-999-3000. Make sure you tell them Dawn sent you.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It's the Saturday Night Free-for-All. Starting at 7 p.m., Talk Radio 1210 WPHT is live and local with Michael Pelka from 7 to 10 p.m.
Just look what they're doing to Robert Kennedy. They got his family to go against him in Philadelphia. And I have to say this, that family looks like there's a whole lot of problems there. I know they're trying to play off on the Camelot magic of JFK.
It's definitely been bred out of the family. The magic, I think, is gone, but that's just me.
The Saturday Night Free-for-All. Listen this weekend. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Tom Giordano's show. We should be joined by Colonel Green Beret, Representative Michael Waltz from Florida. I'm not sure if he's Central Florida, where he's from. Exactly. Often you see him on Fox News all over the place. Caught our attention. This is wild. Republicans afraid of the majority. Dan, this is something you think Democrats would be up to. They just wheel guys in wheelchairs or hold stuff up or say the roof is leaky. We're not going to do anything. You know, they come up with, or we're in touch with Kevin Boyle. He's on the lam, or maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, who knows. And he's telling us how to vote here, so that's what we're going to go with. They're telling people, hey, if you go skydiving, the country ends. We won't have the majority. There is some truth in that, but it's kind of ghastly. This is where it's going.
Didn't you go skydiving once?
I chickened out in the end. We've been through that story many times.
So you're up in the plane.
No, we weren't in the plane.
Oh, you weren't even in the plane yet.
No. You have to jump off this
So
thing.
you pulled like a Hank Hill, and you're like,
Yeah.
in the plane. You're like, no.
No, and they tell you, all right, you're dead if you don't do it right, or you broke your arm. And they say at the end, you know, it's late in the day. We can't take everybody. And there are only like 10 people. Is there anybody that says, we'll do it next time? And like 7 people raised their hand. We got the hell out of there.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It seemed like a good idea. You know, it's a double pull and all that stuff. It would be fine. It's automatic pull. Lumberton, New Jersey. Thank God. What could go wrong?
Where were you going to jump over? Like, what was the target?
South Jersey, I guess. I don't remember any particular.
In South Jersey.
Yeah, a field. We weren't landing in Normandy. There wouldn't be gunfire. We weren't going to land in Camden. Wait a minute, strike that. Philadelphia's worse now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Kensington, we were going to land right there at K&A. All right, so we're scheduled to speak with Congressman Waltz about all that and what's going on in Congress. We'll see if that happens. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem. Side question today, simple one. Kate Smith Day. Is there anybody that has been wronged by these clowns more than Kate Smith? Beautiful woman as far as what she practiced, what she preached, the voice, the flyers, and they put a hood over her head like she was being taken off to Iraq or something, and then put her in a warehouse somewhere. Why? Somebody said something. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem. What statue would he like to see in Philadelphia? Hey, Robert, afternoon.
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys today. I'm going to go with out of the box, but heartfelt. I would like to see a statue of Pastor Devlin. There's a guy who, unlike Daniel, he walks into the lion's den. He walks the walk. He's a man of great principle. Now, Dom, I'm not a religious guy, but he said something that was so true. He said that kids that have some kind of exposure to religion are more likely to be self-reflective. And I can tell you personally, that's 1,000% true, because I was naturally a bad kid, but was raised by Lutheran nuns. So I literally had that devil on one shoulder and angel on the other. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that unlike so many of the people that we revere or consider notorious today, Pastor Devlin really deserves one, and you can put it wherever you want.
That's a great one. But wait a minute, Robert. He just sent me an email, in fact. I don't think he's listening. He's negotiating with Canadian and other authorities around Gazans, and he just got $10,000 to stop their suffering in Gaza. I'm not sure if he's in Gaza or not. Just 5 minutes ago, the email, even before you called in.
Where is this guy?
Well,
now?
some people talk the game. He walks the game, and that's what I admire about him.
Absolutely.
You guys have a great day.
Thank you. I think I've known him now, Dan, almost to when I started doing talk radio. And I've seen everything with him, including being arrested at the 10 Commandments thing, being taken down at the courthouse in Westchester, to the setting up a lectern in front of the gay bookstore over in Center City, Philadelphia, that had pedophile literature, and holding it up. Oh, man, that was...
Did you face counter protesters there?
Did he? What, protesters?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They were screaming shame and all.
Oh,
yeah.
were they?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Game of
So
Thrones episode.
he's doing some kind of Gazan thing today as we speak. Boy, suddenly Fordham has gotten in on the action.
Oh, another one.
Fordham now.
Oh,
Suddenly you
great.
don't hear that. And they all have the masks. They all have. No, they don't have the. These look to be not as highfalutin as the Columbia students, you know? What will Columbia do? Maybe somebody else will take over for them with this stuff. 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wire. Wait a minute. Protesters took over another college building, Dan. I think it might be Fordham. You might want to check. For some reason, it didn't get me as crazy as it did, because I already despise them. I don't know how much more I could despise what was going on at Columbia, just their annex. But when they took over that building, that seemed to set a line. This appears to be at Fordham. They've taken over another building. I mean, when you think the people at Fordham, and is Fordham a Catholic school? I know it's an alleged Catholic school. I believe it is. Like one of those quasi-Catholic schools. Maybe what's Cardinal Dolan going to say about that? And some of the other dignitaries. Fordham strikes me that there's some religious bent. I could be wrong on that, though. But Fox is reporting the White House defends Biden's inaction as protesters take over another college building. And I believe it's Fordham at this point in New York. They're going to keep on doing this. There's going to be a lot more of this. 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. You just push pound 1210. It appears that a few Democrats are on board with defunding the colleges that are allowing anti-Semitism. And the big story is over at Penn. 2,000 students, alum, and faculty have signed a petition calling upon the cowardly interim vice president to actually remove the encampments. Now, this is an interesting development. All kinds of organizations on that side. All right, 855-839-1210. We hope to catch up with Congressman Waltz. We're going to talk with Joel Fitzgerald, the dad of Christopher Fitzgerald, Sergeant Fitzgerald from Temple at 2 o'clock. He's going to be in town testifying before Jim Jordan on Friday. We're inside this with Larry Krasner. But get in now at 855-839-1210.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. ramp.com/250.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 1039 FM.
Violent clashes broke out at UCLA between pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli demonstrators. Police have identified the 4-year-old boy who was found dead inside a duffel bag in West Philly. And a 15-year-old girl was taken into custody after Philly police say she stabbed and killed her grandmother.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Hi, everyone. Stephanie here from Emmons. You know, a great way to spring out of those winter blues is by upgrading the favorite place in your home, your bathroom. Emmons will give you an affordable, modest bathroom refresh with synthetic stone surrounds in as little as 1 day. That's right, 1 day. And Emmons will include interior design consultations at no cost to you. This is an easy way to spruce up your bathroom without having to break the bank. Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or check out our website at callemmons.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's stand time.
I can handle things. I'm fine. Like everybody said.
With Dom.
That's right. It's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan usually takes over the Dom Giordano program, and we'll talk about some Sixers in this last hour, Dom. But I want to get back to you because there is some developments on Fordham University's campus and just more with these protesters. Dom, take it away.
All right, 45 protesters, apparently hateful protesters, have taken over a building there at Fordham. So I was asking myself, Fordham, that's a Catholic school. Well, I don't know about that, Dan. It is a university in the Jesuit tradition. Does Dom Giordano classify that as Catholic? I don't know. As soon as I hear the word Jesuits, I think Pope Francis. I think of all these other Jesuits. Do I see that as Catholic? No, not in any sense that I recognize. They say they abide by the principles of religious liberty that protect the rights of individuals to practice their own religion. We welcome all of our students, hope that the richness of spiritual and religious traditions is a blessing to all of us. Translation, the New York police may just have to be ready again to come in. Well, I don't know if they'll ask them to come in. The Jesuits might be there. I see people carrying United Auto Workers signs with this mob at Fordham there too. Anything, it's their fun. It's ragtag.
And they're the same tents.
Now the guy wearing the the Middle Eastern shawl, not just the women there at these phonies. They're probably being sold by a guy in front of Fordham there.
UAW sign.
UAW sign. Yes.
I see it.
Yeah.
So one of the conspiracies popping up online, and I think Deuce even asked about it, is the style of these tents.
Yes.
Because they all look exactly the same.
And they look high quality. Yeah.
Well, they're not. They're if you search on Walmart,
Yeah.
people have done some research. It's actually the cheapest tent you can find. It's $30 on Walmart to buy these tents. But the fact that they all have the same exact tent at the same exact time going up in universities throughout the country seems very coordinated, doesn't it not?
I'm sure there are people involved with this. There are activists and all this, but I'm not. It's a false narrative that these colleges want to get out of it, Dan, is where I stand, to say it's that. It's their students who are ignorant. Yes, there are activists helping to coordinate all this, but mainly it's these kids that want to do this. It's not just a bunch of outside actors showing up. Oh, Ilhan Omar has shown up. I'm not sure if she's at Fordham or at it's on Capitol Hill, and they're following her to it.
They're just replying the comments you made, pretty much calling the
genocide.
pro-genocide.
Yeah, pro-genocide if you're on the other side. Yeah.
So I got a question. These Fordham students, they're not very smart, are they? Because they've taken over a building, inside a building, and they're what looks to be in a sunroom here, and they're setting up tents inside of a building, but what's the point of setting up a tent inside of a building?
Yeah, just roll out some kind of sleeping bag or something. It's a sunroom.
These tents are purely symbolic at this point. They don't plan to camp out for an extended period of time. They just want the image of the tents being. But now they're setting up tents inside. It just makes them look stupid.
All I know is I'll be going down Broadway, the Jesuits, one of my favorites here. Just the phoniest of phony. But yeah, and now more UAW people holding up the U. What kind of cars are they making there?
Right.
Everybody's got a bullhorn, too. A lot of people walking around with bullhorns, and everybody's wearing some kind of reflective jacket so that they don't get run over. And everybody has a mask on. Now it's Fordham. The good news today is over at Penn, 2,000 people have signed this petition telling the Presidente there, follow through, you coward, my words, on the actions you said about removing these encampments. Dan, what we're seeing play out here, let me be honest, at Penn, what I think you're seeing play out here, you're seeing a number of Jewish students and Jewish alumni, and they've had it for once. They're not going to go down this progressive path because where does it get them? They're under attack constantly by people that are blatant about this. If you were doing this to any group, you can just imagine. You could just imagine anybody else doing this in this manner to another group, what would happen?
These videos I cannot get over, Dom, the hilarious image of these tents being set up with Gaza encampment written on them on childlike signs inside the lobby of a building. It's
let's see what the Jesuits over there at Fordham, which alleges to be a Catholic school, what do they do next? I'm watching Penn too as we speak. You know what the bottom line is, why this is useful, though. Biden yesterday came out, last night they announced $6.1 billion more, they're, quote, forgiving. I actually have people saying to me, there's one guy on Twitter, Mike Gibson, Mike, come on. Well, he goes, well, if they forgive that, doesn't that money go back into the economy? Isn't that good? Are you really serious? Do you think you're going around just saying magic wand, I forgive that debt? Why don't we forgive every debt that's out there then in every way, shape, or form?
Make Oprah the spokesperson.
Yes. Wouldn't it all go back into the economy then? Well, they're going to be able to buy stuff. Nancy Pelosi, brilliant economist, has tried to make this argument for 25 years. Are you serious?
They're dancing.
Why don't we just forgive this college loan debt and the economy will perk up based on it? This is the type of nonsense they've got. So why not forgive everything then? Why not forgive credit card bills? Why not forgive what anybody owes to any governmental entity in any way, shape, or form? How about your parking tickets? All goes back into the economy. Stop writing parking tickets. Well, I'd love to see in downtown Philadelphia, Dan, if you just park wherever you want, the Old West. Well, that's kind of what it's like out here on 24th Street anyhow. All right. 855-839-1210.
They're dancing, Dom.
This is Fordham again, right?
Yeah, this is Fordham that you hear.
Oh, man. What is Columbia going to do to top what Fordham's doing? What's the chant now?
I don't know. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
We will not stop. We will not rest. Disclose. Divest.
Oh,
we will not stop.
Oh, man. Can you imagine having to write this? Come on. Poetry. I like the free, that whole rhythm.
Free.
My favorite, though, is Goldie, who can?
In breaking news, it seems like they picked up the pace of their protest. Tempo, guys. Tempo. Slow it down. You're speeding up. You're speeding up the tempo.
This is at
the band can't keep up.
This is at Fordham, huh?
Yes.
Oh, man. I'm sure the Jesuits will come out and tell them Joe Biden is just forgiving abortions
like
and
runaway
student loans.
guitarist over here.
Let's go to Ben in Gloucester Township. Hey, Ben. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, Dom. How are you?
Good.
There's a very easy way to stop all of this with these kids. You get the fire department with the fire hoses and put the fire hoses on them, and them kids will never go into any building. They did that years ago, and it worked.
Well, thank you. But Bull Connor's not around when you need him here. You know, that's true. They did that in the South. You have to understand. They're all complicit in this. They don't want to stop them. Yeah, the only thing, thank you, Ben, but the only thing they want is just not to get the negative publicity associated, to feel under that pressure. And the big story today, I think, is this is unusual. Well, let's follow the ball here. 2,000 people at Penn are delivering this petition to the Presidente by alumni, students, faculty even. I'm dying to get the names, organization, get one on so you could hear it. At least at Penn, they're telling this cream puff, move these encampments out. Meanwhile, the Jesuits over at Fordham, is it any wonder that Francis is a Jesuit? I wonder what Pope Francis will say about this. He'll probably bless this of some sort. I saw this, and again, I realize how long things take, but I want to drill down on this in the next hour after our guest. But the COVID Select Committee in the House, going back and figuring out what happened, released a report yesterday recommending that Eco Health Alliance President Dr. Peter Daszak be formally debarred and criminally investigate as a result of his actions prior to and during the COVID-19 pandemic. The report exposes serious systemic weaknesses at the National Institutes of Health that enabled EcoHealth to fund dangerous gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China. In other words, this is not the kingpin. It's not Al Capone. It's Frank Nitti. This is the guy who aided and abetted and fueled what went on with Dr. Fauci, the House Select Committee recommending debarred, criminally investigated. I know you can say, yeah, but he's not in jail yet. And I understand your agita on these things. The thing that I would tell you is this is not a battle that goes away. You don't win and then the game is over. It's constant with these people. They hate traditional America. They're coming up with one thing or another that injures us, whether they're at Fordham, Columbia, or this guy. And the fight is on. That's what you got to be up for. But there's progress on these fronts. And Jim Jordan's coming to town on Friday to take on Larry Krasner. Oh, man, I'd love to see that in a tight room, the back and forth with Jim Jordan and Krasner. Krasner cleaning his glasses. All right, and we have a great man coming up, someone who is protecting all of us, is the way that I see it. Dr. Joel Fitzgerald lost his son to this idiot from Buckingham, allegedly, Dom. Temple Police Sergeant. The dad is a police official, and somebody that we admire greatly. He's going to testify before the Jim Jordan committee coming to town on Friday. Dr. Joel is next here. Honored to have him, as always, on the Dom Giordano Show.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Time! Great workout, Rock.
I'll hit the showers.
Not anymore, Rock. I went to Half Price Hot Tubs and got a nice hot tub and infrared sauna.
Hey, yo, Mick, how many rounds did you go to get that deal?
At Half Price Hot Tubs, you always get the best price on the best brands with more inventory than you have sequels.
I'll get one for me and Buckus.
Half Price Hot Tubs sale ends soon. Save an additional $500 and get our unique chemical-free system at 0% financing.
You know, this is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. The weather is breaking. Everybody's getting out today, whether it's golfing, going out, jogging, working out. And that joint pain is keeping you from doing everything you love to do. Am I right here? If you're tired of those achy joints, I want you to call my friends at QC Kinetics before you ever agree to things like surgery or steroids or medications. Patrick loves to golf like our own Nick Cale, although Patrick definitely wears his sunscreen. Patrick couldn't even walk because of that horrible knee pain. But after his QC Kinetics regenerative treatments for his knees, Patrick is back and has the best handicap he's seen in 15 years. How does that sound? I'd love to be talking about your story next, where you were able to get lasting relief, no downtime. Don't wait to call QC Kinetics 215-999-3000. Get that free consultation, 215-999-3000. Make sure you tell them Dawn sent you.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Legacy Box is offering a 60% discount. Order yours today and take advantage of our best Mother's Day sale ever. Visit legacybox.com/value, and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value for 60% off. legacybox.com/value.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, welcome in, everyone. You know how I'm such a fan of Jim Jordan for a lot of reasons. When you bring the big show, the House Judiciary Committee, to a place like Philadelphia and zone in on Larry Krasner, well, it helps if the witnesses that are going to be called are people of dignity, stature, and I believe, and I hope that you understand this, that what the Fitzgerald family is doing is not just something helpful to the memory of their son who was killed in cold blood, assassinated at Temple University, Sergeant Fitzgerald. It is, in my mind, and I believe this wholeheartedly, by wanting the death penalty in this case, which is so richly deserved and which there is no defense for, they are protecting all of us. That's right. It's a self-defense. It's a protection for my family and yours, not just something to satisfy their need because of the loss. Maureen Faulkner is another example, but it is a tough journey, as I think they know, when you have a person like Larry Krasner involved, who will be in the dock, so to speak, on Friday. Joining us is Dr. Joel Fitzgerald here on Talk Radio 1210. Doctor, welcome back. And Dan tells me you had to step out of a big FBI development thing. I'm very glad you joined us.
No, I wouldn't miss it. And I thank you for the opportunity. I'm honored and pleased as always, Joel.
Well, Joel, how are you feeling now? I know you were going to be recuperating from something in the past, right around the time that we were talking about calling for the death penalty.
Yes, right now I'm back up and around. I'm being sworn in as the new president of FBI LEDA this evening. So there's a lot going on, but nothing more important than the violent crime and the lack of punishment that goes on in the city of Philadelphia. And as you said, you know, it's not just to seek retribution for my family. It's because we, my wife and I, both police officers, you know, want to make sure that our home's livable again. We still have family, generations of family who were born and raised in the city and who deserve better.
Well, I said it to you. What I said about Maureen Faulkner, I'll say to you, too. Thank God for that, because I witnessed over the years. I was just kind of starting in talk radio with her and have gotten to know her over the years, and how difficult this is to keep this alive. You know, people who say, why would you do that? Why would you not just give this up? And you've just articulated clearly the reason why.
Maureen Faulkner is without a doubt a hero. She has led the charge in the fight against this type of injustice for decades. You have to look and say, and just appreciate her resolve, and with the sort of dignity that she does it with. You know, when fighting somebody like Larry Krasner and his myopic view of how law, crime, and punishment should work, you need to, you know, have your ducks in a row. And I think what you'll see is that taking from the historical sort of problems that we've had with some, you know, prosecutions, recent and during the time of Danny Faulkner, I mean, we're looking at, you know, just trying to reset the clock. You know, this would be a very advantageous time for Larry Krasner. I've said it in some documentation I provided to Congress, and that is, you can reset the clock here and have people actually believe that you care about citizens of Philadelphia. You can start people, you know, to say, have a second thought, let's say, about whether you're going to commit a crime or you're not having these kids, not having these young adults, not having recidivist criminals, you know, say to police officers, which they do. Well, Krasner will have me out to have 3, 4, 5 different gun cases and be walking the streets of Philadelphia terrorizing people in a way in which I've labeled being latchkey neighbors, right? We're creating a whole generation of people who can't come out of their houses in Philadelphia, whether you're in Pensport, whether you're in the Northeast, whether you're in West Philly, Germantown, anywhere in this city, and feel like you can go out and have a cup of coffee on your porch and enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's all any Philadelphian wants to be able to do. Moreover, be able to send your kid to the corner store and not worry about them getting shot. So he could reset the clock, but is he going to allow just being stubborn to get in the way of what people in the city care about and, you know, what endangers our city? And this is a referendum on who this DA is and whether he should be here or not.
Absolutely. So well put, too. And you're probably aware, my producer and I really took to Sherelle Parker. She took a chance coming on more conservative talk radio when she was running early on. We've developed with them a really good relationship. And she ran on the issue, even as a Democrat in this Democrat city, of law and order of a sort. I would assume you probably know the new police commissioner. It strikes me you might in some ways. And we're impressed. We're
Well, I'll
very
share this
impressed.
with you.
Yeah.
I've got to share this with you. My dad raised them.
Ah, there we go. There's always a
So-
connection with this guy. Yeah.
So Kevin Bethel is
Yeah.
my godbrother.
Ah,
He is
okay.
he is also, he worked for my dad for years. He is family to me. He and I both went for the police commissioner job. I was interviewed for the job as well. And as I told Mayor Parker, after that, when I found out that Kevin was the selection, I couldn't be angry that, the person that brought me into policing was Kevin Bethel. He's the one who convinced me to take the police test and become a Philadelphia police officer. So they've got a great person. My another cautionary, I guess that came up during the course of the interview process was just how can you work with, a district attorney? That question came up like Larry Krasner. And my retort was, you try, but in the end, you have to use as a baseline whether they're going to cooperate with you or not. And in this instance, I see news media showing Krasner standing up with Mayor Parker and Kevin and saying that they want to stop recidivism in the city when he's facilitating the recidivism. So, in my example here, I think, and what I said to the panel that interviewed me was at some point you have to rethink having police officers in Larry Krasner's office. Police officers are detailed to that office. And if police officers in that office are doing really good work, processing cases and making things ready for court, and then they don't go to court or they don't get the level of punishment that they truly deserve, do we need to have people detailed to that office or do we need them on the streets of Philadelphia? So one of my responses was just that. I have no reason to believe that the mayor doesn't have good intentions. And I know Kevin is an excellent person and will do whatever he needs to do to help, restore normalcy to the city of Philadelphia. So I can at least speak on his behalf and say, you got a great person. You got somebody that thinks and feels everything that goes on in the city of Philadelphia and has passion for creating change there. I just don't know how much of a cooperating district attorney they have next to them to be able to make that, vision a reality.
I hear you, but I think already we see underway the campaign the third time around with Larry Krasner. And if it's a guy that I think it is running against him, I think there's a real shot. I mean, I share almost 0% on Krasner turning around, but I also share with you documenting this, making the effort, and testifying in this manner. And Doctor and Joel, there's no doubt about this case. This is not the case where you can blame any number of things and say how fallible the system is. There's multitude of documentation, evidence on this. It's a classic. They can't even bring up race because the narrative changes around that. There's nothing to bring up here. Why has Jordan chosen specifically to come to Philadelphia, though, this one? Do you have any sense of why this traveling committee, they just don't go anywhere? Why did they target Krasner?
I can't exactly say that, that I was told why, this was happening again in Philadelphia. It has happened in other cities. I know that they want to bring light to the fact that violence in different urban cities are sometimes the result of some of our regressive district attorneys that have created this open door network for folks to come in, be slapped on the wrist, and be back on the street. We share a lot of the thought processes. And not everybody that's on this committee, or that will be testifying before the committee, I should say. My wife will be testifying by herself. I will be testifying by myself. And then my understanding is 6 others. So we all don't come from the same backgrounds, but we are affected by is violent crime. And this committee cares enough to hear about how violent crime is affecting people in Philadelphia, families in Philadelphia, and if anything, to just bring light to the fact that those folks that are even elected and swear to uphold, as I said in the past to you, the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and of the U.S. Constitution, right, aren't abiding by that when they don't apply the law correctly. And by correctly, I mean they hamper the district attorneys within their own office by firing those who believe in prosecutions. They, you have folks that are underprepared going into key cases because, they're overwhelmed. They can't get the staff in there to work cases the right way, so they plea bargain things. And that ultimately means that everybody in Philadelphia, whether you come from a rich neighborhood or you come from the very lowest income zip code within the city of Philadelphia, are affected by people that are let back out onto the streets who deserve to be incarcerated and to begin their rehabilitative process inside. And we got to get past this notion that, hey, people are getting overly punished. You know what? The average Philadelphian believes people deserve punishment. They believe in the fact that folks should go to jail. And people like Krasner need to sit down instead of talking to the folks that in his own legal terms consist of the heckler's veto, right? We need to start talking to the people down on the ground who won't come out of their houses anymore, who are seeing their property values go up, and subsequently, obviously, their taxes go up. And then they're not seeing people, being punished for the things that have really trapped and besieged their communities, right? In our case, we have a murderer who comes from Bucks County to prey on people in the city of Philadelphia. It's absolutely crazy.
It is among the
happened.
most bizarre things I've ever seen in doing this job. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, we welcome you back. And again, if you're going to do something on the death penalty, I'm available anytime, any place that you want. You have our admiration. I just wanted to thank you for you and my family, because this is something you're doing to protect all of us.
Dom, I will tell you, I'll never stop fighting for justice for my child. My wife and I will never stop. However, we still have a great, deep respect and feeling for those in Philadelphia, family, friends, and generations of folks that just deserve better. And I just ask Philadelphians to take a good hard look at what's going on now and understand how many of these folks have done crimes over and over again, who are slapped on the wrist, who laugh at you because you call 911. You get people arrested. You go out on a limb to become a witness. And then what happens? The person's back out in the street in 60 days. I mean, it's a cycle that needs to stop. And Krasner can reset the clock by rethinking his on the death penalty. That can start something that maybe will help him reverse sort of the negatives that he set out into the ether in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
That can only be something we pray for.
Absolutely. Dr. Joel will be listening on Friday. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Joel Fitzgerald here on Talk Radio 1210. And again, taking that tragedy a la Maureen Faulkner and doing things that help to at least try to protect all of us. All right, the deadline. Dan, I have to say, whoever is in charge are going to arrest them in Fordham. You're right. I see it now. It looks like a storefront, a sunroom with tents in it.
Yeah, right.
They're going to drag him out. And, something I would tell this mob, Dan, that the average American doesn't like, all these cockamamie flags. I put up on Twitter when the NYPD took down, I guess it was one of the flags at Columbia, put up the American flag and threw the Palestinian flag, since there's no state, into the trash. Loved every second of it, particularly the last part. Coming up after Money Melody in a second. Oh, no, say it's not so. Is this something that might get the attention of people out there in suburbia? Dan, those pesky commissioners over in Montgomery County, including the one guy who's suspect. Remember, minimum wage, he came on, all that stuff. Now, today they held a big meeting. They want massive amounts of low-income housing to be put in affluent neighborhoods. Might that get the attention of those in the suburbs who think they're insulated from progressivism? I'll give you the details on that and your calls. But right now, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
the money gone.
That is right. Dom's Money Melody every day at about 2:13. So, Dan, what's your backstory today? I'll give the prize in a moment.
Yeah, Dom. So today we're going to be talking about this is actually related to a guest that didn't come on today. It's Congressman Waltz, who will be on tomorrow at 1:30, Dom. We played a song, Free Fallin', earlier today to discuss, his jumping out of an airplane. And I wanted to do a cover of Free Fallin', and I actually stumbled upon a very interesting cover by somebody who I didn't know started their career as a singer. They've since gone on, now 70 years old, to be a very, very... a famous actress starring as the lead in, I'd say, probably one of the favorite sitcoms of our audience. Really, really good sitcom. Went on to become a great actress in a cartoon and then a really good drama as well. And I really think she's underrated as an actress. So, Dom, this person started their career as a singer and now as an actress is very, very famous. I want to know who it is singing here. Not known for their singing, though. Take a listen.
She's a good girl, loves her mom, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses and a boyfriend too.
The biggest clue there, Dom, is that she is the female lead on one of the most loved sitcoms of the Dom Giordano audience.
All right. So pair of tickets to see comedian Brian Regan on October 18th at the Miller Theater in Philadelphia. Tickets are on sale 10 a.m. Friday, May 3rd at Ticketmaster.com. Hit us with that correct answer.
He's a bad boy for breaking her heart.
Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
After further review, they need to get Wally, pull him back out of the swamp, and put him on that boat in Florida with those trash dumpers. Wally's got a lot of things he can do. He can clean that up and then take him to Colombia. You get Fetterman, a bison, and Wally the crocodile.
Yep.
And we just unleash all three of these creatures on campus. We got to have a little fun. We were serious for like 3 straight hours at these protests.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Countless financial firms have promised the security and peace of mind that comes only with a crash-proof retirement. But those imitators never last. Only crash-proof retirement can guarantee market-like returns credited as interest with no market risk or fees in a legally binding recorded financial meeting.
Janice Barbero, Fogelsville, Pennsylvania. With Crash Proof, we don't have to worry about making up any money that we've lost. So if the market goes down, we don't worry. And that interest that we made the year before, that never goes away. I do think Crash Proof Retirement's original. They're the real deal. I don't think anybody else could give that kind of service.
Crash Proof Retirement is the only firm in the country willing to make all promises and guarantees legally binding by recording all financial meetings. Register for one of our next events happening at the Washington Crossing Inn on May 15th. Choose either the 11 a.m. or 5 p.m. event. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Technology helps keep everyone comfortable with a smart thermostat.
Turn temperature down.
Temperature down.
Turn temperature up.
Temperature up. But to keep everyone on your team working comfortably, you need more than technology. You need CDW to custom configure Dell Client Solutions devices. Adaptive AI-based software creates a personalized user experience and boosts collaboration so they can stay cool and collected.
Temperature down.
Temperature up. I'm staying out of this. Dell Client Solutions make adaptive performance possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Well, how about this? Start a PI Dental Center with decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient of PI Dental for 20 years. Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, they're board-certified prosthodontists. They specialize in the restoration and replacement of teeth, and PI Dental Center are the originators of the teeth in a day. It's a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth and implants placed for a dramatic transformation in a mere one day. So visit PIDentalCenter.com. That's PIDentalCenter.com to request your new patient evaluation.
Baseball is in full swing. NBA playoffs are heating up, and your NFL team is gearing up for training camp. Listen to the latest on the teams you love with the free Odyssey app. The biggest sports radio stations in the country, providing unrivaled local coverage of their teams, all in one place. Exclusive interviews with players, coaches, and team executives, streaming live and always available on demand. Stay in the know with your favorite teams with Odyssey. AUDACY. Download the free Odyssey app today. It's Dom time. Dom Giordano. Weekdays, noon till 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's right. Every day we give you a shot at this for a great prize. You heard the clue. Let's hear the song again.
All the vampires walking through the valley, move west down Ventura Boulevard, and all the band bars are standing in the shadows. All the good girls home with broken hearts.
All right. So we're looking for who's covering that song. Gina in Washington Crossing is first in. Hey, Gina, who's the artist there?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just taking a shot. I'm going to go. Is it Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City?
It's a great guess, but it is not. I would not venture to say that Sex and the City is one of the favorites of the Dom Giordano audience. So,
Kim Cattrall, I'm fine. You know who I think is captain of the overrated team. You know, Sarah Jessica Parker. Though
Yeah. I agree with you there. Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't get the entire show of Sex and the City. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
never appealed to me.
I would hope so. Robert and Philly. Robert, who's covering that song?
I'll take another shot at this. Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, I would not allow Gwyneth Paltrow on the show or her products, including some things that we can't even mention.
I would venture to say that our audience loves this woman.
Yes.
Just, the thing is, she's all over the place. Just people don't recognize that she's everywhere. It's like
And
her
you said
voice
a
is famous.
sitcom,
Yeah,
right?
a sitcom that ran from the late 80s to the late 90s. Our audience loves Dom. She was the female lead in there, and she was also the female lead on a very popular adult-centric cartoon.
Okay. Tim in Palmyra next. All right, Tim, who's covering the song?
Katie Seagal.
Yeah, Peg
All
Bundy,
right.
Dom from Married with Children.
Wow, that's nicely played, Tim. Enjoy Mike Reagan. Yeah, I would have stunned by that. Brian Reagan, I'm sorry.
Yep,
Good stuff.
that's Katie Seagal you hear there. Peg Bundy, Married with Children, Leela from Futurama, and she was also on Sons of Anarchy as the lead. Now
Right.
on
The
the
mother.
Connors. Yep.
Yeah.
So just a fantastic actress, Dom, and she doesn't get talked about enough as just having such an illustrious career. Now 70 years old, just a fantastic actress, Dom, and apparently a really good singer. She started as a backer for Bob Dylan, Etta James, Tanya Tucker, and really took off her acting career with Married with Children, Dom.
All right, big time stuff. That is an interesting one. All right, Fordham, rest start at 3 o'clock, allegedly. We'll see. This Montgomery County crowd, Dan, these menaces, these commissioners there, there's 2 progressives and 1 alleged Republican. I can't go through it anymore. Dan, what were the 2 counts on this guy? One was on the minimum wage, and he's going to be working over Republicans in Harrisburg, suddenly $15 an hour minimum wage. And there was something else that we had Tom on. Well, according to the Inquirer, he is signed off along with the ice cream truck guy who, if you mess up your ballot, wants to come to your house with vehicles and do it right there in your kitchen for you. And this Jamila Winder, who's the chair of the Montgomery County Commissioners. She challenged municipal officers, developers, and nonprofit leaders to support low-income housing in affluent areas. She said, the Inquirer saying this, that'll be the top item on her policy agenda, and that her fellow commissioners are on board. Now, you know, Montgomery County is some of the more affluent suburbs. She said, we're tired of seeing Norristown and Pottstown have to bear this. You may remember last year we had on people from Upper Gwinnett about a housing complex being put in there, saying they're trying to turn Upper Gwinnett into Philly. She highlighted $10 million the county is contributing to 7 lower-income housing developments, one of them in King of Prussia for homeless. And she can influence local zoning rules, she said. And what is the response of these suburban communities? Well, on Monday, Justin Hines of Patch reported that officials in Lower Providence suspended consideration of a 60-bed transitional facility in the face of pushback from community groups. Quote, we have places where we know the need is greater, and Lower Providence is the most definitive, closest opportunity for us to have that shelter, said the Montgomery County Commissioner, but they're facing a lot of resistance. Now, constantly, and it just bugs me in this presidential race. Let's put it on a broader level than just this Montgomery County Commissioners thing here, that through Trump, an unusual candidate, Republicans have broken through and really rallied different constituencies that no other Republican would have been able to do in quite the same way. I don't even know that Reagan would rally rural Pennsylvania in the way that Trump has. But by the same token, even though he rallies African-American males and Latinos more than your average Republican, the suburbs, like right around us, I still believe are determinative on who's going to win the presidency. Those 4 collar counties. So here we have these commissioners again, though. Are the people in the suburbs going to realize, maybe tomorrow with Chris Papa? Yeah, well, maybe we'll get him on tomorrow. The attorney that we had on from Upper Gwinnett. Thanks, Dan, for that suggestion. Yeah, I'd like to get him on tomorrow. Are they going to realize that it's not just these progressives in Montgomery County that are out of control and the alleged Republican? I realize he's only 1 vote there, but at least he could put up an argument. Are they going to realize, look at what Montgomery County's doing. Biden has so many things on hold that he will do at a moment's notice if he gets reelected. And one of them is stuff like this with HUD and others. Does that break their insulation down, or do they still feel insulated? And if they're so against people like Trump, well, why do these communities then not sign off on having all these difficult situations come into their town? Why? Well, because they want to do that, but they want to be holier than thou. They want to look down on the Trump supporter. They want to say, I'm just waiting to be able to say, well, he was convicted of something in that New York case. I can't vote for him. This is a clear indication they're not going to stop at the city limits. And what's going on in Montgomery County, Dan, you'd have no living memory. I don't even know if people that are listening that are 35 would absolutely have living. At one time, Montgomery County was the leading Republican county in Pennsylvania. It was the most educated, affluent, and among the most Republican, if not the most Republican. What the heck happened? Well, we had Joe Huffle and a Matthews, not Chris Matthews, another Matthews, that ran the government, in my view, into the ground.
Jimmy?
No, not Jimmy Matthews. Chris's brother. And then In addition to that, we had this influx of these people who saw how bad Philadelphia was, but they came to Montgomery County and they took the Philadelphia values with them. Surprisingly, Bucks, there you go. Hey, we ended up with Josh Shapiro, Valerie Arkush. I'm here to tell you, though, the ice cream truck guy, Dan, is more radical than any of them. And apparently the woman who's the chair is way out there, too. This is the top item on their agenda. Not lowering taxes, better quality of life, better schools. The top item on Ms. Wilder's. And what is that? That's social engineering. We need to put all these government projects into the more affluent communities. So tell me how Trump's so bad, but you don't want this stuff there. And as long as you have enough power, I guess, to suppress it, you'll still feel insulated. Well, guess what? If it's the federal government doing it, you're not going to be insulated. Think about that. It's unnerving to see people. I'm looking at the Gallup poll again today. It says immigration, illegal immigration, named the top U.S. problem for the third straight month. And I just cannot believe that, because if that's the case, if people really believe illegal immigration is the number one problem, then in what universe could we have two more conflicting views? This is an all-timer. Trump, the wall, the first time around, the whole thing, right? Nobody has owned that issue, and he actually did keep people in Mexico. Biden has had a more open border than Obama or anybody else you could name. So if truly that is the number one issue, why is the voting pattern even close in the swing states, et cetera? I still don't believe it. I think it's inflation. I hope it's illegal immigration. If people vote this November around the issue of illegal immigration being the number one problem, how in the world then? Well, I just don't like Trump. I just don't like his personality. I don't like Stormy Daniels. I mean, if the guy on the other side were not this weirdo, bad issue too, Biden, if there was some normalcy there, that would be one comparison. But where's the normalcy there? It is stunning. Dan, do you believe that this is the number one issue? Gallup is reliable. They're not biased.
I don't know. What a great answer that is.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the economy.
Yes, inflation.
I hate to say student loans, I think, are a bigger issue than this.
I guess
abortion.
it was, yeah. Abortion, I get it. They said abortion's the biggest issue with these people in the suburbs, particularly.
I don't. Are they still like living in the past and everything that was, forced into our faces when the Republicans are sending, immigration or immigrants to cities? Is that why they think it's an issue? I don't know.
The polling is consistent, and Gallup is reliable in this. I mean, they wouldn't say this. They would pick something help the Biden. It annoys me. I just can't get past this, because if it is, how in the world are you supporting Biden then? You know he's going to do more of it. You know that he did it. All right. Answer to the side question coming up. And is this the type of issue that penetrates the suburbs? I think it does. Notice Lower Providence. What did they do? They blocked it. They shut it down. Well, wait a minute. That's not very Christian. That's not very Biden. Why wouldn't you want that in your community? Why?
So looking at the Gallup poll, the second thing they have is government as the next pressing issue. Is that
Right.
as Democrats frame it, a threat to democracy? Is that what they're talking here? Or are they talking big government and
Big
coronavirus?
government. Yeah, maybe that. That's a little, that's the second. I don't get it. Inflation's the issue. Come on now, let's all grow up. Inflation is the issue.
Inflation's the fourth, apparently.
Nothing is more universal. All right, phone lines, 855-839-1210. Jump in right now.
The summer-like air mass continues to remain in place across the Delaware Valley today. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds with a high 82. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 62. And for Thursday, warmer, partly sunny with a high 86.
Weather sponsored by Liberty Mutual.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at comparinginsurance.com.
You know, this is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain because the weather is breaking. Everybody's getting out today, whether it's golfing, going out, jogging, working out. And that joint pain is keeping you from doing everything you love to do. Am I right here? If you're tired of those achy joints, I want you to call my friends at QC Kinetics before you ever agree to things like surgery or steroids or medications. Patrick loves to golf like our own Nick Cale, although Patrick definitely wears his sunscreen. Patrick couldn't even walk because of that horrible knee pain. But after his QC Kinetics regenerative treatments for his knees, Patrick is back and has the best handicap he's seen in 15 years. How does that sound? I'd love to be talking about your story next, where you were able to get lasting relief, no downtime. Don't wait to call QC Kinetics 215-999-3000. Get that free consultation, 215-999-3000. Make sure you tell them Dawn sent you.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Legacy Box is offering a 60% discount. Order yours today and take advantage of our best Mother's Day sale ever. Visit legacybox.com/value and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value for 60% off. legacybox.com/value.
I'm Philomena, founder of Kin Apparel here in Philly. I love my natural hair, but not what hoodies and hats were doing to it. So I made my own satin-lined hoodies and created a business in the process. I've got big dreams, and Chase for Business in Philly was like, all right, how do we get you there?
Get financial guidance from bankers in your community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, and a member FDIC.
Hey, Philly. Jason Kelsey here. Even though I won't be playing on Sundays anymore, you can still find me at Lincoln Financial Field on Saturday, May 18th for the Eagles Autism Challenge, presented by Lincoln Financial Group. This event raises millions of dollars to support autism research and care and gives you the chance to walk, run, or ride your bike beside your favorite Eagles players. Together, we can transform the lives of individuals affected by autism. Register today at eaglesautismchallenge.org, and I'll see you there.
Construction continues here at Colonial Hyundai. We're on our way to a bigger dealership, more service space, and a state-of-the-art showroom. But construction is making space limited, and we're getting more and more shipments of Hyundais every day. So let's keep it simple. Right now, only at Colonial Hyundai, save up to 20% off any new Hyundai in stock. With a vast selection of Elantras, Sonatas, Santa Fe's, and Tucsons. Hundreds of vehicles available for immediate delivery. And guess what? You can drive off in yours today, saving up to 20% off any new Hyundai in stock during the Spring Getaway Sales Event at Colonial Hyundai. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain. Shop 24/7 at colonialhyundai.com. Save up to 20% off any new Hyundai in stock. Colonial Hyundai, the faster, easier, better way to buy a Hyundai.
Up to 20% off dealer listed price. Includes all rebates and incentives. Cannot be combined with other offers. Offer ends 4/1. See dealer for more details.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano show. Side question today. It is Kate Smith Day. Just still remarkable how all that went down. My God. Frank Rizzo, all right, it's awful. One thing. Kate Smith, though, somebody who deserves a statue in Philadelphia. We learned that Pulaski does have a statue, but Dan doesn't think it's in a prominent enough spot.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Like there's not even, you Google it, it's no name road. Like it says legitimately address, unnamed road, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19130. You got to go to the map to find it. It's near the Schuylkill Rowing Basin off of Kelly Drive behind the Museum of Art.
Okay, the Polish and that. So
but apparently there's an unnamed drive somewhere in Philadelphia, Dom.
Forbidden Drive. I know about that. So we're looking for somebody who should get a statue in Philadelphia. By the way, we had Dr. Joel on
insulting the Polish people, Dom.
This Larry Krasner event with Jim Jordan, of all people, coming to town. Philadelphia police have successfully impounded, says Fox 29, 150 illegal ATVs, with more to come as the weather warms up. They're apparently on top of this. They've been using intelligence gathering, I guess, drones and other things. They even took a bunch of them that were stored in a dumpster, so to speak. So look, I think the Philadelphia police are on it. Sherelle Parker's on it. Kensington, there's going to be things happening. We have the police commissioner in studio on March 16th. I know that's a little bit down the road. We think for an hour. So I see real progress there. Krasner, though, is still always going to be the issue. It's an amazing situation. So it will be interesting to see what Jordan does on Friday here. That's one thing going on. The other is we're expecting arrest at Fordham. These dopes, they're in a sunroom that looks like a storefront at Fordham.
It's hilarious, right?
With tents, like they're going to let them stay there forever.
Why set up a tent inside?
I guess they're taking notes from the others who said they didn't know where they were going to sleep.
The only time I've ever seen that is a Philadelphia Auto Show, and they display like
Right.
a Ford Bronco's camping abilities. They'll set up a tent inside. I've never seen a tent set up inside. It makes no sense.
Well, they're college students, and this is part of the issue. And I've told you at the top of the show, Joe Biden forgives $6.1 billion more in student loan debt to those that went to some art institutes. Now, you know, this has all got to catch up. This is just not sustainable when you see what's playing out. It's not everybody with student loan debt. But let's face it, this is on a number of campuses across the country. Thousands are involved. And I'm waiting tomorrow to bring you to the show people over at Penn. I think these are well-placed alum who are pushing back against their presidente there. A petition's being delivered with 2,000 signatures of Penn students, faculty, and alumni saying, yo, you told them no encampment, get out of here. Now's the time to do it. That's heartening that Penn is a little bit different than what we've seen at some of these others as far as there's pressure. And the reason given is they're saying they're anti-Semitic, they're violating health rules and everything else. Get them out of there. So let's see how that proceeds. All right, Joe in Exton.
Get him out. Get him out of here.
That's always that. Just have enough nets. Throw some nets over some heads. Get them out of there. Let's go to Joe in Exton. Hello, Joe. What do you have today?
Yes. Hello, Dom, and good Wednesday afternoon. We have Kate Smith who sings God Bless America. I would like to see a statue of Mario Lanza, who came out of South Philly, made it big here, and then went on to California, where he starred in a film in a scene in which he and his fiancée are kneeling in a church, and he then goes into a rendition of the Ave Maria by Franz Schubert.
Wow, Joe, that is very specific and very worthy of a shot. Thank you, Joe. There was the Mario Lanza Museum over at between Broad and 15th and Snyder, Dan, for quite a while.
Really?
Then I don't know if they moved.
Was it all just stuff dedicated to Mario Lanza?
Yes. I mean, Mario Lanza is one of the
Really?
biggest,
Okay.
at one point, was the biggest names, bigger than Andrea Bocelli, and laugh at him. I don't know that he'd be laughing at Pavarotti. I'm not enough of an expert to say that, but, you know.
Does he have a statue in Philly?
No,
Probably
I don't think
doesn't.
so. That's a good one.
That's a good thing for you to
I
start
mean,
vouching for.
believe in public statues.
So
I
there's
really
still the
do.
Mario Lanza Institute, the museum in Philadelphia. It's 1214 Reed Street, Philadelphia.
Oh, it's on Reed now. You know why that
It's open
might
only
be?
Saturdays from 12 to 3.
Okay. That may be the Victor Cafe influence. What are they at 13th? That's where opera people sing opera as they're serving you.
I'll put this out there. I mean, there's a Mario Lanza Museum benefit dinner coming up at the Victor Cafe.
There you go.
It's May 22nd, 2024, starting at 6 p.m. 3-course menu, $80 per person. MarioLanzaInstitute.org.
Right. Ro has been itching to go.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but we're going to the Phillies on Friday. It's the annual. They honor the teachers.
That Friday?
This Friday.
Oh, okay.
They put them up on the scoreboard.
Oh.
And Ro can stand about 3 innings of baseball, then we're off to Ralph's. That's the usual type of thing. No, she likes basketball more.
Well, is it the food that draws her away, or there's the boring of baseball? Boringness of
Yeah,
baseball?
she's bored, but she likes basketball. The players, there's more action,
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
she believes they're more attractive.
Yeah.
What can I do? Yeah, there we go.
Well, you're closer to him, too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She thinks basketball players are more attractive?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree. I think pro basketball players are the most attractive, best athletes in
She
the world.
apparently likes her men tall. That's why she's with
Exactly.
you, right?
There you go.
6'2"
Yeah,
and
that's
3/4.
6'1 1/4. Yes.
6'1". Okay. Sorry, I thought it was 6'2" and something.
Get that special
You get
measuring
extra inch
tape out.
stuff.
No, 6'2". I can't claim that. All right. It is the lightning round next, though. You got to jump in at 855-839-1210. Who deserves a statue in Philadelphia?
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you still holding on to that winter weight? Time to shed that fat and get ready for the warmer weather of spring with NJ Diet. For over a decade, they've helped thousands of people lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. That's nearly twice as fast as weight loss injections and without any of those nasty side effects. NJ Diet uses your hair and saliva along with scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements to get you to shed that fat quickly. Then NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep the weight off. You are fully supervised the entire time to make sure you are burning fat and not just losing water. And you even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. Locations in King of Prussia, Cherry Hill, and Newark, Delaware, or available from home with live online consultations. Call 855-5NJ-DIET, 855-5NJ-DIET, or schedule your consult today at njdiet.com. Get slimmer before this summer with njdiet.com.
Financial statements, cash flow. Isn't my balance sheet supposed to balance? Am I even making any money this year? It's all so complicated.
You didn't get into business to work on spreadsheets. Let Style CFO Services handle it for you, freeing you up to actually run your business. At a fraction of a cost of an internal CFO, Style CFO Services offers a full suite of accounting services to help you, big or small. Visit stylecfo.com for your free quote. That's STILESCFO.com. Let Style CFO take the confusion out of your accounting.
For some jobs around the house, it's okay to do it yourself. For others, not so much. Like your water heater. Replacing a water heater should only be done by a plumbing professional who can provide a safe installation for you and your family. For a long-lasting, reliable water heater, ask your pro about Bradford White. How you heat your water matters, and Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best for years of dependable service. To learn more and find an installation pro near you, visit bradfordwhite.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Free speech lives here with Kale and Company weekday mornings. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, side question today, Kate Smith Day. It's just one of the most bizarre types of progressive nonsense. I remember when Kate Smith's head was put inside that black bag. You know, like they were going to take her off. Yeah.
The statue's head, right?
Yeah, the statue outside the stadium, right. As if she were a prisoner of war and they didn't want her to see anything. We don't know. We hear things, though, that she might be in the same facility with Frank Rizzo's statue. Someday we're going to liberate them, someday. Dan, I know the mayor. I remember the new mayor of Wildwood, Ernie, said that, yeah, he would. I think Pete would, too. They'd be happy to put Kate Smith on the boardwalk. Yeah. It'd be an attraction. All right, let's go to Frank in South Philly. All right, Frank, who deserves a statue in Philadelphia?
There was a guy from South Philly. He was a World War II veteran.
Yes.
And a hero. They portrayed a movie, Band of Brothers.
Yes.
Wild Bill, they called him. And he had a missing leg. He got wounded in World War II. They do have a statue up in Newtown Square, but that statue is fantastic.
Well, they do have one for him in South Philly.
No, they don't.
Well,
He lived in lived in South Philly at 23rd and Passyunk is where he lived at. Him and another guy that lived there, the same block.
All right. Well,
there was actually there's a statue unveiled in 2015.
Yeah, in 2015. Thank you, Frank. Yeah. I know the family. We honored him at an event. And Dan, he's the one that got within hours city council to agree you can't be taking down handicap parking for a veteran of someone like that. Because I get into it with the guy who was taking down the sign on the air. His nephew calls the show and holds up the phone, and we're going back and forth arguing with this guy. I didn't succeed. He said, come over here and stop me from taking this down. Couldn't get there quickly enough, but it changed. Now, he does rightfully have a statue. Bill in Bucks.
It's a Second and Reed Street, if you want to check that out.
It's at Second and Reed now?
Yeah.
Okay. Bill in Bucks. Bill, who's yours?
He's a songwriter and a record producer, and he was instrumental in creating the Philly sound back in the 1970s. He wrote such songs as the theme from Soul Train, TSOP, The Sound of Philadelphia by MSFB, Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, Kenny Gamble.
All right, that's a good one. Yeah. The Earl of Tacony knows about statues. Earl, who's yours?
Real quick, I didn't know if you wanted to hear a little bit about a song about the Palestinian protesters, because you don't play enough Frank Zappa on this station.
All right, we will look into that.
No, I got it here. Pally girl, she's a pally girl. Pally girl, she's a pally girl. Why is she there? Not sure. She's a pally girl, and she'll yell some more. Why is she there? Not sure. She's a love Hamas pally girl.
Very nice. I know how hard that is to do. Earl, who's your statue?
I got three people. I'm going to go with the Barrymores, Lionel, Ethel, and John. You can have Lionel there in the wheelchair as Mr. Potter. You can have Ethel in the back pushing the wheelchair, and you can have John behind them, turned around, urinating in a potted plant.
Nicely put. Yeah, the Barrymores, a lot of Philadelphia connection here. All right, we have to get into the deciding mode here, Dan. We heard some outside the box big time today. Give me some contenders.
Yeah, some good ones. Patty in South Philly with Frank Palumbo deserves a statue after having this taken away. Mario Lanza is a fantastic answer from Joe and Exton. Kenny Gamble, the Barrymores. I really like Joe and Exton's today. Mario, though. It's been
that
a
was
lot
very
of hype
good.
on
I
Twitter.
also like Robert and Ben Salem with Pastor Bill
Oh,
Devlin.
yes, that was a fantastic answer, too.
Let's go with Mario Lanza. I like the way Joe set the whole thing up, too. Definitely. Let's put that into the hat. All right, we are back tomorrow. And are these insulated people in the suburbs going to be not so insulated with what's going on in Montgomery County, among other things? And will Fordham actually arrest these people who are putting pup tents inside his sunroom? That's a takeover. Rich Cioli is next, though, for 4 big hours right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Shinecup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written